I'm focused. I've been watching for the omens. I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded. I got the feeling that you know it. Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done, till you're broken. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Flame it, burn it through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. Bigger they are, harder they fall.
We return to dark. The immense, thick shadows that pollute the sky around the mega metropolis that you know as Kings Bay. The group returned to Ray after 18 to 20 hours of being apart. Ray noticed the small difference in energy. Ray haven't stopped fighting, saving. They look slightly more rested, and yet, despite the wear of wounds of battle, you notice more that their persona and the act that keeps them looking focused and driven is worn and somewhat like it's doing fractured. The group returned together, and as the city's protector Mitso trailed in from behind, he and the group watched as Moki, in a few, maybe a minute of being close to the group, suddenly snapped. A mental break, attacking first the air and flames behind the group, and then bringing his weapon down on the party. Ray, you watched this, but you watched the group quickly descend on Moki. You saw no need to interfere, as within less than 2 rounds, less than 12 seconds, Moki's body was being diced into small pieces by Oscar. You watched Moki also split into what looked like a spider-like lower half, separating his horse hooves into 8 limbs instead of 4.
Weirdly not associated with the curse at all.
You walked instead towards Mitsa, trying to talk to him like you did before, when you and him and Heron kind of communicated together when he hit Heron, and he was confused on what enemy he was supposed to fight. When he returns, less than 2 minutes later, you address him, asking him why he's here, why he's not at the role he was designated to, and he called you arrogant. And told you that you weren't looking properly, and that the group you had left has returned with bargains from dark gods and even greater curses. They said that to you, and then said, in more or less, was shut down, except for your ears, which still rung and ring. There was no visual display of what was then to happen. As you heard Mitso say, I don't want you to see what I'm about to do first. Ray, only as soon as you felt your senses leave the sound around you of a battle of magic, the rushing sounds of wind breaking, plasma ripping through the air, 30 seconds, you being unable to do anything. Suddenly the sound of what sounds like a hailstorm slowly became a peppering of stones railing your body, bruising you heavily, but not breaking you. That damage was enough to reawaken you, return you to physical awareness for you to notice that the building beside you is now no longer there and is only left with some broken pieces of wood, dirt, and an open floor plan. And on the other side of that wreckage of a street, the form of Mitso contained inside what looked like a soap bubble, a shell, barely transparent, and with Oscar railing his fists into the barely transparent, shimmering force field-like object surrounding and encasing the kind of dark brown bark of Mitso's enhanced form, something like that. Oscar yelled at Mitso that he's a coward and that his running has ended. And slowly, as you begin to kind of move towards him, where the only sound of combat is around you, you watch Mitso starting to pull and remove parts of the shell that was containing him. And while he was doing that, there was some sort of weird, strange wind force emerging at kind of the outer shell that he was being surrounded by. When it looked like Mitsu had pulled away all of the pieces that made him the size that he was, the bubble dropped. A massive amount of dark energy seemed to ripple outwards, like it was trying to get in, or he was trying to contain it. It hit you pretty hard, knocking you nearly to the point of unconsciousness. But you were conscious enough to see, quicker than the rest, Oscar rushing for him, cracking the wizard's face against the shattered cobblestone street, and ending the wizard before he could react or speak further. Pulverizing the wizard, the elf. After the death of Mixer Grantuzo, the wizard who had helped you in some regard, saved your life on another, the group started to recover and quietly watch Ray for the first time, noticing two blonde figures covered in blood and in various pieces, very similar physically to Oscar, one female. The two figures laid at the feet of the edge of the rubble near you, and Jonathan, without the will and against Oscar's wishes, stitched magically their bodies back together, sewn the bruised and crushed flesh, reinflated areas where that were completely concaved, and the group left, letting Oscar about maybe a minute behind, letting him kneel and say a few words to people that looked very connected to him. And as you begin to walk for the air spires, a direction you convinced each other that was the next place to go, because that's where the artifacts Mitsu was protecting and housing from greater evils was kept. Loot under his purview, now no longer his purview. Towards the air spires, give Oscar a moment alone to mourn his siblings. And as you all begin to walk, you hear behind him, behind you all, his footsteps slowly catching up with you. But you notice Ray, Cicero never returned. You saw him when Mookie snapped, but you haven't seen him since. When you were fuzzed out by Mitsu, you haven't seen him since. I think the group, in some contexts, can see Ray looks a little confused, a little shocked, but maybe also just processing the material that was threatened at you, basically, by Mitsu. He said, don't trust any of these guys, because they've already started to turn on each other, which you witnessed. But you also witnessed Oscar deal with very quickly. Also, you watched Loki die, and with no visible signs of stitching, Loki was walking and about to attack Mitsu before Oscar did. So somehow his body not diced up into 30 or 40 pieces, just whole. But still very bruised from the battle that just happened, where you had an immense amount of magic wash over you from the priest and from Jonathan. You were only down 7 HP. You were really down 7 HP. The group has been mostly healed. The priest that you were teleported with still walks beside you as you head towards the S-Fires. His old body he seems to ignore, but still makes grunting sounds as if to test his own slowly crumbling fortitude. This is where we return. But we returned first. So Aiden can do some writing. We returned first to Cicero, to Imric. I guess there's a point where you just consciously come back.
Yeah. Well, back. I'm done now.
You're done, and
Strike
you're
that a little bit.
I think you said you were a few hours behind in the case you wanted to be. Do you do some building hopping to kind of get quickly across through the areas, or do you stay low on the ground? Building
I'm
hopping,
gonna come back to the square where we just wanna
and then up there.
went up there. I'm trying to find my dagger of venom.
Interesting. Cool.
Like, heated it at midsummer.
Yeah, you definitely find it. It
fine.
is scattered into the stone wall of one building that it's been like flung with a lot of debris, but it is embedded into a wall surface. You only notice it because it is a mostly bone dagger, pretty and visible. You also notice that there is 2 small vials, red vials, on your hip that should have been broken or just weren't there before. 2 red vials, about this big each. Irony. Definitely blood. And as you look down, you notice that there's a fucking decent gash, like full hand width. You probably just did it while you were roof jumping before, but you weren't in close proximity to get the rest of the heals from the priest that he was doing it in play.
Right.
But you're close to heals.
Love that for me. Shit.
So you're looking around, there's advantages. I mean, there is literally the body that also left. You're able to, if you want to, strip
Does Leif still have his little pouch with the potions? So
medical supplies were taken by us. So you
well,
know,
he had 3 healing potions. Did they shatter on the floor?
there's no supply on it.
Yeah. Move to the bag he had. That had 3 healing potions.
Only one.
Damn. One was there.
Well, you don't see the body. You don't see that bag. You do see that there looks to be, at least on one side of his body, multiple chunks of glass that are not embedded anymore. They look like they were spat out of his body, probably by Jonathan, because you know he does this. And it's just a bunch of glass pieces covered in blood at the side where his body is.
Do they look at rest? Did he close their eyes? I'm gonna look for a high place to go and climb up.
The building that you fell through. I mean, to a degree, the wooden framing that is kind of broken.
It's crumbled by the military buildings.
No, it was directly next to the area that got rained on. And it's lost a fair bit of the roof, also due to you. But you're able to climb onto it, get a good enough vantage point, knowing you can see purview. If you're looking towards the air spires, you see an ominous red glow on kind of the surface level, but that's very far to the south. And make a perception check for me, if you're looking.
21.
You notice.
Sorry. One less. 28. Lower level.
You notice
Garbage.
about 6 or 7 blocks full of mostly broken buildings. Some fusion fallen in. 6 or 7 blocks towards the high Hearst Heights. Basically where Oscar's Solomon Sentence Bar is. In that, closer on that side, so east of the city walls, east towards the city walls, you are noticing that there is a small horde of dark blue creatures. just like a mass of writhing blue forms just moving opposite south, so north towards something. Not directly over the bridge where you know Austin Bar is, but kind of like 2 or 3 rows before that through the street. It's just a wave of what you
How fast do they move?
no. I mean, slower than you when you're roof jumping, but not by much.
Yeah, I'll get closer to them.
Okay. As you try to get blocks closer, they are moving steadily through the street. You're able to get a better vantage point.
Yeah, I'm trying to move closer so I can see what else is.
I mean, make an acrobatics check for me to do some roof jumping.
Whoa! 31.
Beautiful. You get well enough through to a point where you're noticing their path.
Sorry, 35. Jumping.
5. Their path is very off. And you notice why, because you're having to kind of try to look at the front half of this swarm.
I'll stealth as well.
Sure.
Bad.
Cool. There's something breaking through structures to move these holes through, like plowing through. So the only way you'll notice visibly, it's pretty hard to tell. But now that you're getting a really good eye view, they're short, they're a dark blue tone, probably, and you're not seeing the creature that's leading them, but it is something that you're noticing. You're kind of getting the frame after. You can't see the creature. You're seeing the wall like burst open as something is just plowed.
Do they have the burst on them?
Even from your distance right now, that's pretty hard to see in a huge swarm. Murphy didn't tell you that his daughter is safe in the northern place, so that's why I'm rude. So you don't know that.
I'm going to follow them because I have no direction to go.
Sweet. Right.
My Delta is safe. It's a stronghold.
So he's a big stronghold over there. I will not tell you that because I am insane for the 8th time.
Wow.
Please do not kill me. There's no other way to freeze.
For you, it's very hard to keep pace with them at a certain point because they have a clear path. They're not being obstructed because they're breaking through the obstructions. It's harder for you, but you're catching the straggling creatures, which are much more zombie-like. They move much more like zombies. Follow the stragglers as we continue, and you follow them all the way through until you reach a point where they have seemingly moved out of your eye line. Make another perception check.
2.
So, you think you hear explosions from 3 different directions?
Go like closest one.
Closest one. You reach a point, something like a massive armored plate connected to an arm, at least to the elbow that's as long as your body. You're on a rooftop.
Gross.
You're noticing some sort of enormous, nearly 20-foot tall, armored creature, interesting horns coming out of the top of its head, fully plated on its upper body, really hard to see the lower body. It's like crushing the side of a building and like looking in a direction north.
Does it look thicker than the giant skeletons before?
And it looks like it's like the horns are emerging out of like a mane of like dark brown hair. He's crushing a building. He's looking north, but you've lost eyesight of the horde. You're seeing this thing, which looks like a giant breaking a building, and also looking in the direction you're looking.
Okay, follow it.
Okay. It slowly does kind of a block around, and then you notice moving from the western side of the city, there's a small pack of what looks like gnoll hunters with like large fling, basically whips over their back. They're all running towards this thing. They've got their weapons out.
Stay here and watch the giant until someone tells me to do something else.
You interestingly watch this giant crush these creatures single-handedly.
Satisfying.
And then just slowly starts to kind of rip them apart literally rip them apart, let their intestines fall onto the ground as he seems to be making a circle per body out of the remains of these gnoll corpses. Like a circle of intestines and blood and viscera with each kill. And then slowly you're watching those internal organs kind of wiggle to the center, forming a weird, each of these little blood circles are forming weird 5-star kind of pentagram shapes out of the intestinal organs. And then you're watching like a black ichor start to kind of rise up. Bone hands. Small, like almost thin wasp or bee-like wings. Kind of emerging from these little black puddles in the ground.
Oh, that's bad.
You're like 120 feet.
Did he?
And you're also very high.
Did he like change? Does it seem like he also spell, or just did like a ritual?
There might have been a vocal component, and the problem that you heard was some sort of like a. It sounded almost more just like a singular bark, just like this. Really hit it once, and then suddenly these things are starting to rise out of the ground. Like he's prepared something circles, there's one thing, things are starting to emerge out.
I'll watch, but if like a flying thing comes out, I'm gonna go inside a building somewhere else. Yeah, okay. See that come out.
Yeah,
that thing's probably possible.
A bone monster with some sort of strange, like you're not even sure how from just organs alone there's armor forming out of this black puddle, but yeah, these are weird. So you take some cover, watches those things start to fly north. You see about 4. And then you see the big giants.
From how many dolls?
Oh, there was probably about 8 or 9, and you only see 4 actual flying creatures.
Conversion.
You hear on the ground, like on the ground, 100 feet away from the building, they go down and cover in. And again, these weird giant footsteps, but almost sound like monkeys' hoofs, like hoof steps, but out of a giant body, you know? Moving very slowly.
Big horse dude. Big thing. Big dude.
You see it from behind.
It's got hooves, mate. Be safe of it.
Lovely fairy.
I'll cut away from you. And
Yeah,
let you
okay,
just
until someone tells me to do something else.
someone.
Alright.
Could be him. It could be like, oh,
Someone could message me. If I see a bunch of humans somewhere, I'll follow this thing.
Cool. Yeah, we can say that you're the next part of this.
I'm already like 3-4 hours behind him anyway.
For Imric, you're hearing this like, hey, over there.
Oh.
And then you hear the footsteps of the giant get closer towards that sound.
I'll try to lead them away from the giant. Probably.
That's nice. Make a stealth check for me.
I'm good at those.
I will just make it based on this thing's perception.
25.
Alright, this
He
thing,
gets minus 10 away from him.
for every 10 feet? Well, you're about to get really close to trying to do these guys. Yeah, he's moving closer to them than you are currently to them. But at the same time, so also, you just stealthy? Was it 25?
Yeah, 25.
25? Okay. So minus 10, I'm going to give you the minus 10 for being more than 10 feet away.
Sure.
Because that's kind of like at the closest you could possibly be. Cool. That's a 22.
Wow. Good work, buddy.
Yeah, plus 19. Pretty good.
High level creature.
You arrive at a series of 15 soldiers. All of them look like maybe blue office uniforms. They are taking cover behind a building. They're looking towards the giant thing, Attack on Titan style, just slowly lumbering towards them, very clearly aware of your path. For you to you have to jump behind him and over his head to get onto that side of the street and then go talk to these guys. You do that, you take a back road, you slide and scale down the side of a building, and you appear behind a group of soldiers. Now make a difficult advantage.
No, what are you guys doing here? There's a giant thing over there. You think you can kill it?
No, we were just trying to, we were following a horseman. And then he broke off from us, and then there was a giant dog, and we were just trying to recover some people. We just, there's a safe hold 4 hours back north.
You kind of recover people?
We saw a bunch of demon bone things heading towards it. We were just about to retreat, and this thing, I think it's this. We think he brought it.
Well, he doesn't.
Yeah, they just saw a bunch of stuff.
And one of the other soldiers said, I didn't think anything from the hulls could even emerge here, but if there's so much destruction there, it starts to kind of mutter into insanity, and the other soldiers have to kind of hold him. Get a hold of yourself, Johnny!
Okay, well, I got separated from my party. I don't know where they went, so I guess I'll just follow you guys now.
Well, I mean, sorry. Who's the party?
Oh, the central guy, and also...
Oh, his daughter's back at the camp.
Oh, that's nice. She's still alive.
Yes, and he dropped another girl off with him.
Yeah, Inquisitor and a Necromancer and a Samurai. That's not what I know.
I know they were heading 13 points towards the broken King's Keep, towards the north. They were heading there, but then we lost sight of them, and they...
That's way too big of an area for me to search.
It's about 6 hours away from your point.
I'm guessing there's mages at your...
There's a few clerics there, yeah. They're doing their best to heal our soldiers when we come back bruised and nearly dead, you know. But we're trying to take back corners of the high-burst lights and here, at the edge of All's Rest.
Alright, well...
Oakside Falls, sorry. All's Rest.
I peek out behind the wall. Should we take a run at that thing, or...?
Oh, no, definitely not. No. Well, if we can summon things, we're that as well. We're unprepared.
Fair enough.
We might have to send a few of our soldiers into kind of a detour distraction run. Right. Jeremy?
Oh, I mean, I can probably distract it for you. If you guys want to run.
Well, we just need maybe a minute.
Cool. Doesn't have wings.
No?
Doesn't seem that fast.
I mean, it's got a big tail, so I'm sure that, like, don't get too close or they'll just smack you.
Well, I'll see what I can do about it, you want me.
Okay, well, the open street's just ahead of us. I mean, you'll definitely get his attention if you walk out that way. And we just need to walk back the way we came, so we'll stay out of the line of sight.
Where is this place?
Oh, okay. Yeah. And he points, so where the Keystock Keep is, he points that spot to the dockside, he points opposite side of the dockside, so very close to the Inspireway Road path where you guys exited the city the first time.
Damn, it was so close.
Very close to the illuminated district, the Temple Fort, in that direction he's pointing. The temples, they fortified the outer streets so that nothing could enter from the side streets, and it's kind of like a larger camp. There's probably a few thousand people. Maybe you can get closer to 5,000.
So many people have survived. That's good.
We have to make sure that they undergo certain tests to make sure that. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to worry about talking to you about that here. Let's.
Yeah, I'll try to follow you.
I'm going to do it a few more times.
I wouldn't recommend staying in the street, but yeah, I'll go distract him for a second.
Okay. Do you need another weapon? I mean, these are all kind of magical weapons.
Oh no, I got a bunch of magic weapons. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna fight it. I'm just gonna distract it. Hopefully,
You don't want a dagger that you don't. It's not yours. No, like a
3 magic dagger. You offering me a dagger?
I mean, like, if you needed a distraction, I'm not going to use it.
No, you're not gonna use your weapon.
No, we're going to run.
You're gonna need it for later, though.
I've got a spear, too. It's a
Well,
spare.
you lose your spare.
Alright, fine.
What if you need to chop some vegetables? Put the 4 feeler, so behind it, it will hear like the sound of righteous yelling. I will smite you, demon!
So you emerge from the side of the street. It notices you.
No, I'm in the alleyway. I cast a spell.
Before that.
Joel, I'm trying to stealth around it so it doesn't see me. And I'll make a noise behind it, and if it doesn't turn around, then I'll come.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly make kind of like a detour route, go through a few more side streets, and stay completely out of bounds. You watch the giant rends the side of the building. It doesn't see you. Actively, it's shooting debris almost towards the minions. But you realize it's like tons and tons of chunks of charcoal, bits of wood that's burned in buildings, and as it spreads out and is kind of still in mid-flight, suddenly you watch as those dark black pieces of charcoal seem to just each swell and suddenly look like charcoal that's making massive forms into boulders. But then you notice that there's something like opaque invisibility. You notice that there is a 120-foot wide sphere of darkness that just surrounds you.
Shit. I touched the side of the alley wall. Immediately,
I mean, you're still up on the edge of a building. I'm just like, you're still like 20 feet off the ground. This is a 120-foot wide sphere. I want you to make a perception check for me. You got -10.
That one.
Cool.
I'm loving that one.
You got it wrong, guys.
You are.
You slide it down, or are you going to do like a skirt at the top of the building? Or what are you going to do?
Drop down.
Okay, you're dropping. You immediately get the feeling of the other way that you're in the building, the small sense of wind from one direction, very hot, from another direction, like ocean breeze, kind of chill. They're kind of colliding on you, but you're at this corner nexus. You don't anymore hear the sound of footsteps, but then you realize at the exact same time that you've jumped down, there wasn't a sound of you landing on the ground.
Do I hear anything?
Since the darkness and since you dropped down, you haven't been able to hear anything. Which was just that moment of landing.
Definitely means smile. Nice spell.
Even as you talk, you can hear your words.
I'll put my hand to the wall and I'm just moving it forward direction.
Okay. Away from the heat field.
Yeah, sure, probably.
You hear behind you many little in the distance as you've moved down 100 feet. It's like definitely in the street that you were just in. Move 100 feet down. Suddenly, you see like the distant, what looks like a red hue that's kind of melting into this darkness, like some sort of veil of water that's kind of blocking you, almost for mist or steam. And you break that, and then you notice hanging from 2 rooftops, 2 hanging with one arm, tons and tons of little barbs emerging from their arm, deep green color in their skin, just kind of hanging loosely from broken parts of a brick building. 2 barbed monster creatures. And you hear like in communicating with each other, they start to like guttural, hushed, almost serpent sounding speak.
Gross.
You need to jump into a nearby building. With the sound of the creatures behind you and the ones in front of you, boom, you turn left, you jump. You get most of the open windows have been boarded, so you don't even attempt that. You just get to a door, quick twist. By the time these creatures descend to the ground, you're in the door. Do you close the door, or do you just dart through the building? Like this realistically, you're only seeing the side of this building. Behind it's all black still, but this looks like a 3-story building. I mean, the roof is kind of like, it looks definitely broken, so to a degree, it's not a 3-story building anymore. You
close the door, yes.
Close the door. You immediately see like 3 or 4 black bulbs just split through the wooden frame. They don't break in, but they do just like split into the wood. They look like they're just trying to rip it down.
Move up. See if there's a way to get to the roof.
You completely roll stairs with enough leverage of momentum. You are able to kind of light foot up, skipping stones literally upwards. And as you emerge roughly to a third story floor, you notice the kind of perimeter of the sphere of blackness. There's kind of like the edge, the rounded edge, and you are 3 stories up. There's no roof, there's now no walls, and you're looking at these 2 burning red eyes on a horned head a large brown, it's like a goatee beard that becomes a full, like pointed beard, full mane. His head is 3 stories up, looking down at you.
Damn.
We will return. He's like just emerging from the sphere of darkness. That
I did it, sir. I got your attention.
You did.
Idiot. I'm over here. Can you teach me a file?
We return. Oscar running up behind the group, noticing Ray is still kind of a bit confused of surroundings, of progress, of what's happened. Monkey looks... Well, how does Monkey look? Your memory of dying is non-existent. You do remember there is some weird amount of pain throughout your whole body, like a ghost pain.
And I was also told I died, but
That's true.
yeah. At this point, Murky's confused. He's sort of unaware of what transpired. You guys tell him he attacked you?
At this point, no.
No. Cool.
I mentioned there was madness in your mind.
You mentioned he killed me?
No. You have no.
You did.
No.
Cicero did not say.
Cicero did mention that I killed you.
Oh yeah, he mentioned that Oscar killed you. He didn't describe or anything like that. Because you grabbed onto him midair in the reverse gravity. And
Murky's confused, concerned, sort of looking at Oscar warily,
There's no Imric.
and he's just keeping an eye out for any hallucinations.
Alright, you good.
I think on the outside, he's clearly shaken. And he's trying to, like, harden up a bit and just keep going. But I think you see there is anguish, there is immense sadness, and there is a side of rage. And it's him trying to block it all out. That's what I see.
As you're walking towards literally a glowing red horizon in the city. It's very ominous, not comforting at all.
That's us. It's just a campaign of this fight.
You're seeing in the distance literal charred body piles, just black husks in the middle of a street. Nothing moving. Very, very large mounds, blackened. Some looks like there was a cart thrown in there to hold the bodies. You're looking at multiple decomposing piles throughout your walk, adding more flavored sense to you as you all move. But you're all in this long enough that you've started to block that stuff out permanently. Your brain has just shut out the sense of smell, the kind of sulfuric burning, the tough parts to breathe. You're breathing in gas. You're used to it now. Oscar quickly trots up behind the trots.
Where are we headed?
I think we have a scroll, don't we? This should be one in the vault.
We are double checking if the Book of Vile Darkness is not gone.
Evil deeds.
The Book of Evil Deeds is gone.
Vile darkness is trademarked.
Oh, you're right.
Yes. We should make haste and do that.
Should cast haste and do that.
How far away are we from the
37 hours.
You're about 6 hours from the air spires. It's just moving through streets. I mean, Oscar would know to cut an hour out of that just by using rooftops. It takes you away from walking around fissures, which you currently have to do.
We should go quick then. We can take the rooftops.
Okay.
Check with the roof over here, it was quite fast.
Alright.
Do you want your wolf to lead?
Sure. We can go. I do so in the other direction.
I will lead.
If you guys know direction of communication, you move very quickly. You arrive at a visible. You arrive at a border which separates the edge of the air spires and what is before the air spires, which is a very, look, most of you've been there, but a very lush garden area, mostly just like a open plain of fertile fields right before the series of towers. And there's a kind of wall that is normally there to block out people from entering. It is a very rich side of the city. You're at the edge of the Queen's Quarters and the People's Farthing. You've now moved through most of the People's Farthing, which is a complete disaster zone, nothing but ruin. And then you get closer to the wall, you notice that there's a few spare buildings. There's a few, as in the entire People's Farthing, there's probably 6 total remaining buildings that look to be still standing. I mean, the roof parts are in various levels of decay. You see the perforation in the wall. You see that the actual, the gate itself, which would allow people, regulars in the town, to enter the air spires, has been boarded up heavily, so you can't enter or exit through it unless you want to spend hours moving debris and boarded pieces. You just go through the destroyed wall, which you can see from a distance. So as you walk, and as you near the site of the broken wall, you have to step over fallen towers. You have to step through completely ruined buildings, bodies half emerged, charcoal in texture and color. You see in front of the breaking wall a huge pile of bodies, maybe 15 or 20 gnolls, clearly fur covered, tattered, ripped apart. There's a moat of blood surrounding this pile of fur-covered bodies.
Are they undead corpses or like?
They look just like a mean pile of bodies. Nothing moving, nothing eating through it.
There is.
But as you kind of break past the tower towards the view of the perforated wall and through the wall, so you can see fertile fields are now black, completely black landscape past the wall. Not just one fallen tower, but a fallen tower that has fallen kind of through the entire field, and then airships that look like one majorly from the eastern side has just made a trail of debris through the eastern side of this front side of the air spires. Then you notice the ground is at varying points still alight and on fire. You can't see its direct source because there's kind of like it's a hilly field-like landscape. You notice even more bodies black in the distance. So what you're seeing is you are here, and you're looking through there towards the southern black fields that lead to the air spires. It's a rough time to get through that crack in the wall. Let's say that.
This book, is it in near the air spires? Inside them?
You've traveled for silence 4 hours now. This is where you are.
None of you asked him what has been happening in the city this whole time? No. Okay, good.
We're all being edgy.
We're all edgy. We're not going to try to gather information and cringe. You're not going to ask them why it took them so long, or why they were different.
I don't think any of us are concerned about civilian casualties.
Why? We're not talking about
You're not going to ask where the enemies are, what enemies he killed.
Ray and everyone heard Mitso call you all traitors.
You and Trader.
Called you cursed. Called you deal makers with dark gods.
Cool. He's a monster. I don't think we should listen to him.
You were the only one who forgot everything because you were
Yeah, that's true.
But then he also said, I'm being controlled by something to kill you. I understand that your words have meaning. And then he fucked off.
He was listening to you, and he was trying to do something, but you couldn't figure it out.
I think it's more just none of us are really in a talking mood.
Nice. That guy's family's died. He's insane.
John could talk.
He could though.
John's like, to be quite honest.
You watch as your dog Jonathan starts to make the first steps through the wall, and his sword like gets a little caught, and it just rips through like a chunk of the
He
wall.
does that. So your dog is sticking his out and it's not gonna
Yeah, it's not.
Sometimes corners are hard to turn around.
He did try to bend the neck around too much, but then he got tired and just you saw him thrash, rip the wall down. Yeah.
He's exactly that size.
So we've confirmed
That is how he is. What the fuck is a wall? Just jump over it.
because he wanted Fenrir.
Wild Hearts? That's not the Wild Hearts roof, is it?
What are you talking about?
I don't know what Wild Hearts is. You get the open. You're able to walk through. You're able to walk into a dark, desolate wasteland of a field. And as you do,
My danger sense is thinking this is a boss arena.
who is behind you? Who is listening and who's keeping track of sounds around you? Sure. I'd say everyone, but it sounds like no one actually wants to do any thinking, because I agree. Yeah, I was gonna say you're kind of like a trauma response, not even thinking clearly. Okay.
I just can't.
He said, never mind, this is his cousin for us.
Oscar's bringing it to 26 also, like leading it.
Yeah, you're like front.
What's in front of us.
26. I rolled well for once.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you're only about 100 feet past the wall, so you're like at the edge of the table in terms of map length, and you look back because first your dog who's leading with Oscar, he's like a. But he's turning his head to look directly behind him. You're noticing that a few of these null bodies are just kind of flying up in the air and then just getting split into like 4 or 5 pieces and then just kind of disappearing.
I love the natural phenomenon to do that. Fold.
They're about 120, 130 feet behind you
What are you seeing?
with a wall of which you just jumped through.
I've just noticed a magical anomaly that is occurring behind us.
As you all look back, you don't see anything.
It's a whirligig from Stalker.
Yes. Are we like by these buildings now? Or are there also
We've moved through this scene now.
Okay.
You are. I mean, it is this scene that body pile is where you are about. You're about here. Yeah. This is the black fields, and that's like this is like the normal side of the people's farming is left.
Yeah, right, okay. What type of magical anomaly?
Well, either there's an invisible creature over there, or something is sacrificing the corpses of those gnomes.
Okay.
Do you guys all stop?
Yeah.
Do you all look back through the crack?
Yeah.
You're all talking. About a minute goes in, and then Oscar, you notice an arm emerges from the corpse pile, followed by neck and shoulders, and slowly just raises off the ground. Null body just slowly twisting in the air before its ribcage splits open. Gore and viscera just starts to flood onto the pile, and then its legs both split off into 2 separate parts, leaving the kind of lower abdomen waist floating in the air. The upper half, both arms separate, the head separates. then you see all of the parts just start to like get smaller in your distance before they just kind of gone. But maybe about 9 or 10 parts floating in the air, slowly.
Do you have any way of seeing invisible creatures?
They're floating about 10 feet off the ground.
Unfortunately, I don't have such a skills. However, I'm thinking that maybe the pile of bodies was some sort of ritual.
Do you have any way of confirming that hypothesis?
Yes, but we'll have to get closer.
And let's.
Keep your wits out. We could be attacked from anywhere.
And as Oscar was looking ahead, now this is something that you really barely got a view on. There was a lot of little small extrusions from the ground where it definitely looks like charred bodies lying flat, roughly speaking. And you see kind of like a ring of bodies far to the south in those directions of the fields. The bodies are all surrounding what looks like just a broken statue of a god. And that broken statue is only 4 feet, 5 feet off the ground. It's not lying flat like the rest. It's like a broken statue that doesn't have a foundation. It's kind of just like lying on its side. And that's far to the south. But you turn back and you see that little floating gory display. Jonathan, what are you trying to do?
Jonathan, I don't like the idea of climbing the wall and getting a higher substance.
You let your dog kind of lower its sword down, let the sword pick you up by your feet, and just let you kind of platform onto it.
Put John on the wall, wherever he is.
He is closer to you there, next to the rat with red.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, whichever side you want.
He'll be here. He'll be sitting on the edge, looking down over the...
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Sorry, what are we doing? I don't want to gig. How am I talking about? Perfect. I rolled even worse. 11.
Um, 11 is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say when, because we'll do Jonathan's kind of first, but what the group wants to do is Jonathan was at the back, so he's kind of there first. As Jonathan, you watch Jonathan stands and kind of rises up. Jonathan rises up, you get a sound from here like this. That's all you can observe. It's like some sort of weird, like hoofs, but like if hoofs were arachnid shapes, like a little spider steps, but weird, way more legs than a spider would have. Like just in an inconsistent, unknown amount of not clicking, but like tapping in a bony carapace type.
What are you seeing, Jonathan?
I'm not seeing much, but I heard something.
The dog wolf puts him on the sword, lowers him back down to the floor where you are all waiting.
We've already walked past it. Shouldn't we leave it?
Yes, I just heard scuttling heading towards somewhere, where the people are.
Is the Book of Evil Deeds not more important?
That's true. I just feel like we're missing something here.
Well, we don't need to be here. There's nothing here. We gotta get the Book of Evil Deeds. Stop.
As you all watch Jonathan ascend and then come back down, it had been well and truly past a minute, not another body had been taken.
Not another?
Not another.
It's invisible. Great.
As soon as Jonathan roars up to the higher platform, comes back down, tells you there's scuttling, you all have had a good awareness of all of the bodies surrounded by fire.
Every moment we delay is a moment the enemy has to take this book.
Alright. We should keep going. Just be careful. There is something more here.
Actually, before we leave, I will cast a detect.
You want to do it while you're on
Detect
the wall?
others just on the wall to
Yeah.
scan if there's any faint aura or any outsider.
And 60 feet,
It's
right?
60 feet. Well, it goes to 90 max. It's 30 feet first cast,
Ooh.
and then it goes to 60, and then it goes to 90. So,
That takes 3
So 3
rounds.
rounds.
yeah, so
Which
it's
he was
3 rounds,
Who's up there?
which I'll scan it, so it'll take 3 rounds to do. To get to. I don't even need to roll.
What are you detecting? So outside of you said? Outside of
So it just detects all of them,
yeah.
generally. The only thing it can't detect is,
Aberrations, I believe.
yeah, aberrations.
Yeah. You do not get a sense of what this thing is.
Okay, do I get a faint lingering aura or something? That's in here. Because I don't get auras of things passing by.
Very, very faint on dead aura. Very, very faint.
Okay.
And we will say that was in the past, and then you've been lowered off the wall, and you're able to move forward with that. But also, you've been observing there's no sign of Cicero. There's no little scout road guy running up behind you. He's clearly somewhere in the city. Gone.
Alright.
Not important.
What do you want?
It didn't scan anything unusual.
Computer stable.
Right. So you guys move across the Black Valley. Red name. Basically the Black Meadows now.
I love meadows. You're so kind.
Which are the very, very familiar sign and sight of what is approaching you. The destroyed airship to the east. The southern battle that you witnessed. The debris of blackened knolls, mostly cannibalized. And just one broken knight statue lying on its side.
We got pushed over. Okay.
Onward.
Yes.
It doesn't look like is it
Centaur statue is the other one.
is the only one you saw. Yeah, that's the one, and it's human shaped. I mean, the statue you saw actively freeze in front of you. Totally different set of armor. You're pretty far away from it still, but you're approaching it like a death pit, and this one broken statue in the center. And just away from that, a completely upside down turned airship debris.
Ignore it, I've dealt with that already.
Do you think the city will survive? Will bounce
Personally,
back.
yes.
Where are you, Oscar?
I don't know.
The city is just refugees at this point. They held up across 3 or 4, 5 places.
Well, the city's. We think of demons now? That's the third army that's attacking the city.
We don't know about demons. We don't know about them.
Yeah. We saw gnolls. Do you think there's an army of gnolls attacking the city? Do you think they're with the undead?
Yes, I believe so. They're were rats.
Also, it's Norse.
God.
Luckily, that should be very easy to remove.
After reconvene with the
Why would
The
you do
mushroom
that?
dead. Remove the nose of rat folk.
The city, I don't think the city will survive. I think it's already gone. There's no point trying to save it. Look, humans have plenty of those cities. They can just go to one of them.
You are making no sense. The survivors here,
Yeah,
but you just want to leave them?
they can flee.
It's dangerous to leave.
It's dangerous to stay.
It's arguably more dangerous to leave without the proper precautions. You're sending them to their deaths.
And if they stay in the city with an army of
You're condemning
undead.
them to their deaths.
Oh, so it's either sending to death or condemning to death.
As you argue, Ray, you notice the closer you get into these Black Meadows, the more your sword arm has started to just get goosebumps, like just a physical sensation like goosebumps, and they just haven't gone away.
I think something is coming up in front of us or around us. I don't know what.
You begin to walk and
Spidey senses.
and very visibly, visibly, audibly, you begin to hear like the bones snapping on your. They are black bones that are so charred. Your verse that you step on them mentally depart from your tread, and you're beginning to walk around a large smearing of bodies, mostly kind of canine in features, but long and humanoid.
How far away from the statue?
You're about 20 feet. Ray says that, but for Ray's been aggressive like the last 2 minutes, slowly just feeling.
Let's go.
Stays at a
I will tell you now that if you remove the sphere, he will be unpetrified.
You see there's a sideways statue with a spear that is parallel to the ground.
Keep him there.
Wait, is
I
that?
do not need that monster to be released.
Wait, that's the.
You look at his face. Yeah, it's the face of the Oridi that defeated a demon lord, petrified, lying on his side. There's a little bit of bliss on his face.
Why shouldn't we take the spear out? And
Because you will be free.
Well, this is a line
yes,
when I.
would I want to fight the army?
Why is he just outside of you?
Well, there was a bit of a fight here. Don't worry. There was a
Did you say demon lord?
No.
No,
I did to Caleb.
You did.
there was a bit of a fight. There was a giant and a dango. They had a little bit of a convulsion, I would say.
Third person.
Yeah, go with.
Anyways, the problem has been resolved except for that guy escaped.
Isn't he an ally? Or at least someone who wouldn't immediately kill us and would kill the enemy?
Well, we do know he's
missing 2
after
legs.
this scarab that you have, Ray. And he was going to do whatever he wants to obtain it. So therefore, no, we need to keep him here.
I'm gonna try to do a detect magic on the spear.
Yeah.
It looks like you were missing.
Just with a random civilian, would you want to save him?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take the spear out.
He said not to.
However, this man has
He could help us.
This man has committed grave sin.
I guess I'm not going to convince you.
Everyone here has committed great sins.
16.
Oh, okay.
I'm just assuming you have, like, because everyone else has, so
Oh, what's this level 1?
10 levels high.
I'm assuming he has, but he's a necromancer, so it's a pretty fair assumption.
I never said there was a necromancer. I am a dark cleric. I've told you this many
Is there a
times.
alignment on the spear?
I go on the bow of the
It's a
divine.
dark flame.
Yes.
If it walks like a duck, it looks like a duck, it probably is a duck.
Actually,
Tastes like a duck.
I would say yes.
No, those young blood is quite black and white.
If you didn't know him, and you saw him risen undead, would you assume necromancy?
Does necromancy do that?
Yes.
Generally.
Well, where I come from, we don't discriminate.
Where I come from, we heavily discriminate.
And eat people.
Kill people.
The worst one in all.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if we say that
Because I think they go
and weren't, didn't he try to kill you?
You're trying to do
I
it.
don't know, I've never seen this man before.
Didn't he want to kill Ray? Or get something Ray had?
Who's he wanted to kill Ray?
Petrified person.
That person never met Ray.
Yeah, I know, but you.
One of the sheep.
Yes, the sheep.
And the phoenix was definitely awful good. These are really important ghosts.
Neutral good.
Okay, you can die.
The second worst alignment.
Oscar is just crouching over the body. Probably for like 3 or 4 minutes. And then he'll just stand back up and walk back to the group.
Did you get a good look at him?
I did.
Alright, enough stuffing around with him. Let's head to the book.
Our second stop.
We do not need to stop here and skedaddle at the war pipe.
Could I pick up the petrified? Marcus?
You try to grab it, and it feels like lifting a statue. So it's heavy, but you're managing to do it.
No, he's kind of chunky.
I'm gonna bring him with us, just like in case we need Pathfinder.
Wear
A demon lord.
You see one point? Murky grabs what looks like a stone spear out of Marcus and just kind of like uses it like a lily to hold it, and then you watch half of Marcus's body just literally crumble away.
So just use their arms away.
He loses most of one. He loses all of one arm and most of another.
Okay.
He's got one leg up to the knee, and that's it.
Oh,
Is the petrification is a status condition. Does that turn you into an object?
No.
Or you're considered still alive?
Still considered.
So that means you wouldn't turn into stone. Okay, you wouldn't turn to dust. That's good.
He is shattering.
Any damage you do to the stone,
Yeah, and
it's also Murky's curse.
Yeah, the curse. It doesn't affect him. Because it's status condition.
But the object he holds does.
Marcus,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it was fine enough.
That's why I broke it again. That's fine.
Just
It's like a hardware. It's just instead of a bag. It's just a
Breaking past. It looks like Murky's
A bit of modern art you fucking found.
Murky has a blood mace and a stone mace, which is a body at the top.
put him down.
he could be an emergency weapon.
No, he couldn't.
Why wouldn't he?
Because he's...
Does his equipment become stone, or does his
Most of
equipment
it's just broken. Most of it's broken, yeah. But he had a breastplate, he had some arm pieces, but they're gone. He had some leg pieces, but they're gone.
Does that mean if the spear is still the object, and he's holding the spear, so that's going to break?
Wouldn't.
It becomes fragile immediately, yeah.
Oh, fragile.
This is magical.
I disagree. I still think we should.
No,
They're pretending as if everything immediately disintegrates.
it's a good theory.
He touches something or disintegrates.
It's a kind of Thanos. Yeah.
Anything that's not magical, dex. He touches the corners,
Powerful something.
it stays on you unless he rips them off.
I'm assuming we're ambushed at the book, or we're gonna go to the book and immediately find someone else.
As you arrive at the stone wall, which is just kind of a visible, massive amount of wall, which is at the base of all of these white marble lighthouses that are combined. There's a small spiral stairway cut out of the metal that climbs up in that angle. And you watch as Loki tries to walk in. Most of Marcus now just breaks. Half of the head breaks as he can't fit sideways through this path.
Same thing that won't be.
So now it's a much smaller mace head, which is Marcus. So he's got a jaw fashioned of stone, and now no legs, and just one part of an arm.
He wrote a piece. He can survive this. He can survive without half a head. Yeah, I believe him.
Just that brain top made of stone is basically fallen at the edge of the entryway, and it's just like cracked in two. You can see the inside; it's all stone. It's not unpetrified. You do see the wrinkles of the brain through broken stone.
Well, that's the same
What is racial?
But it's also
I pick up a piece of stony brain.
That's petrified.
it's horrible because it's just stone.
Yeah.
Even if you crunch into it, you're expecting it to get a little soft, and it doesn't.
brag that made this guy's brain.
You instantly feel a tooth just like crack off. Because at some points it's just sharp stone.
It'll grow back.
You see Murphy's just like bleeding from one end of your mouth, just like.
He's evil without law and without chaos. He's unserving of anything. There is no promise that if you throw him at whatever demon law you're imagining, that he will actually help you.
Sure, he doesn't need to help us. He just needs to fight it.
Why would he fight it? What's the chance that he turns around and starts to fight you?
He has no legs.
He has no legs. We just run.
He's no arms.
He can summon the
I smite my dagger and I throw it at you.
Shut up. What if he looks up? I'm assuming the enemy's gonna know him. And if we have more arm petrified, it's like
God's still valid.
warning shots. We're powerful enough to kill this guy.
And that's debuffed.
Yeah, we got different abilities.
You're not hearing voices again, are you?
Surprisingly, not for a solid 3 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty wash.
I'll make better decisions.
As Oscar walks up ahead, takes 2 steps at a time while you're struggling to kind of like get all of the cloppers up these kind of up the narrow steps.
You don't have big rippers like us.
You notice at some points too, Marcus just gets stuck at a curve. You just break more of him off. Some of the shoulder mantle, that's gone. Maybe the rest of the jaw, you're not checking.
Okay. I no longer think he's alive. I'm still gonna breathe him.
This is how monkeys size.
From getting you hot, even if you're petrified.
You know, like when you tap the top of like a sign, Marcus just doing it. On every wall.
Just the bottom jaw back.
It's not intentional. Yeah. Bottom jaw, the upper
One way to die.
No, he doesn't feel anything.
He was already dead.
Well, no, not painful, but just like you wake up and you have no appendages, half a brain is missing.
He'll be
He doesn't have to think anymore.
To be fair, if you really want to kill him, I could use his corpse. You would make a very good zombie.
Nugget zombie. Just come and see around.
Oh yes, and I forgot to obviously mention we have Miso. He is not alive. He is not an animated body.
Right.
He is considered still an object in his death, but being puppeted as an object, like a control object, like animate objects.
That makes sense.
He's being literally puppeteered like a marionette. So he's walking. He's walking. He's
Wait,
yeah.
you reanimated him? Yeah, actually, I'm not surprised.
He's just without
whole time?
covered in bad robes, padded
Wanted to raise
boots.
him as a zombie, but then Oscar did Oscar things.
Yeah.
Like safeguarding the sanctity of life.
That's little.
Why would you need his abilities? You just need his face.
Why would you get his abilities?
That's right.
No, there are other entries into the tower, but it's about a 2-hour walk upwards. So just to let you guys. Ray knows this. Oscar knows this. Jonathan knows this. Monkey is like
It's off the map.
Where is he?
Who's in where?
Sitting around.
Yeah, ran off.
Why is his name different? Is this his last name?
No, he just changed his name. Changed his person.
He had a mental break again.
Again, this is happening. Okay.
This is his third name.
He has changed names that many times.
Yes.
You remember Grok? OG called him a few different names as well.
Who's that? Don't know who
What
that
a
is.
strange elf.
Monkey's like,
Did he? I didn't notice.
Average elf moment.
Do we know where he is?
I think he went to find people.
Great, so you don't.
Probably at the old church where the remaining survivors are.
Let's keep moving.
So. Mitsu said there's been more evil. Did you find anything more evil while I was gone?
What do you mean?
He said you made another deal or something.
A deer.
I don't know the party.
What we did was steal divinity from a god. And
While I was gone?
Yes.
Essentially.
Is it a good gun?
There was a seraphim.
Oh, we also met the evil seraphim. And the good seraphim. And they
How
fought each
did
other.
you do this in a matter of hours?
Catch up.
it's been less than 20 hours since you.
We've already spoke about this. Don't you remember? Catch
No,
up.
I do not remember.
No, you just started to speak about about fucking nothing.
So, is he cursed more now than before?
His mind is breaking again. But it seems to have reversed when his body did. Oh, I don't know.
Is he gonna try and kill us all again?
Probably.
He will have a
Are you gonna kill him when he tries that?
Yes.
Is there anything we need to know?
Yes, we need to do weeks of therapy for him to fix his legs.
Or I think sufficient powerful magic, which none of us possesses or can ever possess.
I do, but I'm saving it for if we are in vitally dangerous situations.
Don't get it, sir.
I am a vitally dangerous situation. If I snap, I will attempt to kill everyone.
Been playing around with the statue made of stone. You seem fine.
Since our statue moved closer.
Well, now it is. He seems fine. Oh, wait,
The guy who is that one Tesla.
this is the priest, yeah. The priest, I can take us back to the sanctuary. I'm fortified.
Perfect. Yes. I'm so glad.
I can only take one of you.
Wait, hang on. What? It went from 2 to 1?
Maybe two.
Because you can take 3, including yourself.
I lost my headband to Oscar.
It doesn't change anything. It's based on level, you idiot.
What is level?
Nothing.
Your clerical. Order.
Please describe in extremely detail all the magical
levels of access to. It's like
over the 2-hour period.
It's like a pyramid. As you like
400 experience, you go to level 2, and then from level 2, your experience increases exponentially, and then also it becomes.
It is a very simple matter.
Can you explain
You start off as a trainee, and then you become an adept,
So this is too
and
simple.
then you eventually become a master,
Way too
and then you
simple.
become a grandmaster.
You can switch between the
individual
conversion trees and
Faith is actually numerical.
Of course. And then you step in grandmaster,
And phrases
steps
even more complicated in the Eastern continents.
in 10 years ships. That's just a lot of
that
steps.
was perfectly so.
You're talking to me.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming if you're advancing your ranks in your faith, you have to like sell a bunch of products.
No.
That's how.
Convert a bunch of people.
Well, the former head of my temple, which I took over for, he was smuggling children. But you know that Hans Ferris is kind of the god of smuggling and
I thought
death.
all human religions did that.
Not publicly.
I'm right. Nice.
Nice.
Yes, you are right.
Alright, I'm going to send this puppet in to see if there's any traps.
As you begin to walk the puppet up, you pass multiple now walls where everybody noticed that there was a stone wall before, and now there's just a kind of wide opening revealing the ocean. And a very high point at which you have now got to a tower to the west, which you hadn't noticed had fallen, and a tower to the east, which fell over the blackened meadows.
Feel free, just all of you go. I will stay with my own dead and wolf. I cannot take them with me.
want to self-sacrifice though.
I'll follow you.
To be
That's
honest,
no way.
you're less cursed than him. So
I am very cursed, but thank you.
at least you don't try.
Do you also try and kill everyone?
No,
Why
I just
would I
said
need
it
to
doesn't
do
try and do that.
Visibly, it looks like Jonathan and Oscar are equally cursed. Wait, no. Those two are equally cursed.
Wonderful. Let's keep moving.
As we should. You pass many more doors when entering just a stone wall into a dark, no light room. You see like trails of blood in some of these lower story floors. You see small, like living spaces, maybe small kind of garrison quarters, bunks in some of these chambers. You keep going up. You find the kind of very ornate looking gold lined, silver embroidered door, silver turning knob, door knocker. One of the higher towers, one of the higher points. The stairway still goes up one more time. But for you guys, you know, this is his quarters, and the door being closed.
We should be cautious of magical traps.
We'd be assuming.
Yes.
Should I go first?
No, that's why we had the puppet.
Take some steps past you guys. Bends the door. Door holds. The puppet goes to use the knocker. The arms just fall limp again. You're just letting Mitsu just stay.
Try to break open the door.
You tried.
Alright, just failed.
The door's locked.
The door is dead bolted. Well, nothing we can do. Well,
That's why you use the knocker.
Does anyone have any capabilities of picking a lock?
no. Anyway.
Luckily, we have the abilities of breaking doors open.
Oh, you have ripped through both sides of the basically of the door at this point, and indenting enough where it just kind of is like you've actually spread the metal out with how many times you hit this thing. To push it in any further is impossible, but you watch as Oscar grabs the door knocker and just pulls it back slightly, and the entire front frame of the door just falls backwards.
Oh my god, you're so strong.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The sheet of metal that is the door is like indented into like a semi cylinder now.
That was a full
All
minute.
the doors being hit.
A
There's
full minute of
a lot of noise. Can I do a perception check to just look around if it's stirring up anything?
Sure, yeah, it's like a
Around the
tunnel
area.
chamber, but yeah, you can roll. This is a staircase.
Oh, it's a door
28.
leading to another staircase.
Oh no, not inside.
Okay.
28 now.
28. I think you definitely hear as the door sound is slamming consistently. You hear like a how do I describe this?
That is not.
They choose to have sex when there's noise happening, so then no monsters know. You know.
To be fair, I think plenty of people have sex in an apocalypse situation.
I think, look, it's always a short edition wizard. He's definitely
Well, let's not. Whoa.
I think you mean trans
You about to say
people
without
to
sex with the dog?
No. You hear
That's
the
weird.
sound of what sounds like a door that is ajar
Could say I can't
hitting
make penis any bigger.
its frame on a higher level. So you hear, as all of these beatings are happening, you hear a door go like. It's like a reverberation sound after a door. There's a fair bit of wind in this channel, so a door on a higher floor, probably just ajar, is smacking into something.
Tower. It was Howard
Falling back out
Jump.
and smacking it again. You notice, is Mitsu still in the front of the doorway behind Moki, or is Moki's, is Moki getting the first view entrance?
Murky's getting the first view because he just busted the door.
If you want Mitsu to go first, I'll let him go first and you go after.
Cool.
Midso will take the lead if you walk out of the way.
So, Moki, you're the only creature to first perceive.
With my one perception.
There is someone a little fuzzy for you because you've just been attacking for a full minute. You've gone berserk without even hitting range.
Go well.
You're just living out some needed aggression.
So I was loosening the door was insulting me.
It definitely was. And you notice inside
Because we many races involved.
large scatterings of things across the floor. You're just not getting a good view, but you're like, floor looks ransacked. You get the faint smell of blood, and you look in, and at the corner of your view, so barely in the door line, of which the whole group was able to notice the first time, but you see curled, unkept hair, long silver, almost like a silver and gold bathrobe. There's a man hunched in the corner of the room, his back to you, head down at some sort of desk. But before him and in the room, which he is on the opposite side of, there's just shit on the floor everywhere.
Before I went, I would have grabbed the spear again with one hand.
You bring it close to you and the door frame clips apart and the jaw just shoots off.
I'm just thinking there's a chunk of stone around.
It's straight up nugget body, no head, just body. Just breasts. Or breast.
It's like a shield. It's like a spear with a shield on it.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like this big. It's a good accident. You see the shambling zombie body just kind of like its arms and limbs just. Who's intending to follow after you? Is it you again? Or is it you guys?
I would walk, so I'm not blocking the door further in.
Probably Midso will take the lead to just go for any traps around.
Mitsu's going to do trap check.
Yes, the puppet is going to walk through to trigger any traps.
Oh, to trigger it. So I thought you said he's doing a diligent investigation.
No, I'm doing an investigation. I'll take you to the
just like he puts his body on the ground. Just like slides across the ground. Just like, let's see what I trigger. You immediately notice the body explode. Blood just liquefy onto the walls.
Respect.
You don't see the trigger. Other than him looking.
Yeah, we learned so much.
He's about 15 feet into the room, and then his body just liquefies on the walls. Just little bits of matter. There's no bones, which is weird.
Great.
Well, like the bones are there, but they're pulverized instantaneously. Maybe that was what Oscar did. He just pulverized. He liquefied the bones.
Like that boy's explosion.
And you just see this kind of like this hazy mist and little bits of blood dripping from the ceiling.
Have you seen Scanners?
I'm going to detect magic and just try to bring out the
I have the reference.
natural 20, so 35.
Okay. Magical signatures, ceiling. You see 3 in a row. These are delaying permanency effects that are like delay this effect. So it's like 1 round trigger, 2 round trigger, 3 round trigger. So it's like some sort of like build up of a type of energy that at that third point where there's no permanency and where there's no delay, it seems to emanate a type of forceful magic, which seems to just break the body apart. Not disintegrate, or maybe disintegrate in an explosive fashion. You're guessing to some degree this is a disintegrate spell, but maybe magnified.
Does it seem like all 3 have been used?
No, it seems like potentially if one fails, the other can work, but they all look to be able to build together. Like walking into the room, you're not immediately affected by a spell, but the energy on the roof pulses. And as the Mitso creature walked closer, roof pulsed again, and then that final kind of 30, no, I would say 30 foot, I'd say 20-foot walk-in chamber, that final point there, it's now just a kind of blood haze.
It's still active. Marty, go forward.
Didn't you bring more zombies for this battle? I do have 2 more unrisen.
No, I think he has a good point.
I will
Go.
I will flip.
Alright.
You watch as immediately on the first room, you watch it for Oscar, it seems to glow, and then you watch it seem to, before Moki steps on the next one, it triggers the next one in front of Moki, and then you watch the weapon in Moki's hand just hit the ceiling.
Which one?
Not the spear, the evil weapon.
Okay, cool.
The
I'm
blood
never gonna
base.
pick it up again. It's gone forever.
I mean, it's like 2 feet above your head, so you can very easily grab it. So, yeah.
No.
At this point, it's visibly stuck to the ceiling. A little bit indented into the ceiling too, because it's wood.
Damn. Well,
I think you didn't just do 30
seconds. Well, at least I have another weapon.
As he walks forward, he explodes in the blood.
Turn off my spell resistance.
That's a very good point.
So I guess the cost level for cost is like 20.
It's an 11 cost level, like the other ones were. I rolled a 5, so 16.
You failed.
Damn,
I'm not kidding. He would have exploded into blood.
Mitsu wasn't refreshing.
I need to count as and make sure he gets it.
I did.
So that's what literally would have done 22 d6 instead.
And the,
You're really lucky that Mitsu didn't decide to do his own
I survived 22.
is the trap still there, or is it used up?
Visibly, it looks like There could be a cooldown. You see, as Moki walks under it, it
Maybe they
brightens,
like his apprenticeship.
and then
They just never
and
updated them.
softens like it deactivates, or like how you watch it
I'm
activate.
used to my wizards being autistic.
Looks like it went through the same stages, just missed the disintegrating, removing body part.
My blood felt weird for a second.
Two people.
And as you look into the chamber, as Monkey, the only person to see that there was some frizzy head creature in the back of the room, he's gone.
You gotta make sure you can.
The chair is actually slightly out.
Cool. I assume it's a hallucination. I just mentioned it.
Yeah. You look on the ground, and I mean, beside the blood that's kind of pooling behind you of the liquefied parts of the midsummer, you see one. The biggest thing in the room is in kind of the far corner, but also it's a central circle. It looks like a dais that was made of like not marble, but it is brick that is kind of being placed over. It is in a perfect circle with 5 sides to form a pentagram. You see that there is a few little crystals in a few little areas, but specifically in the very center, there's a book.
A book.
An open book.
John, I'm not sure if it's deactivated or not. Sam, one of your...
You just see Moki's like head turning inside.
I see a book.
So the glow is,
Touch it, yeah.
Yeah, I assumed so.
is the glow not working? So you said you're seeing the glow. Alright, unrisen, do go.
Okay, so you see one unrisen move through. There's no spell resistance for the unrisens.
Nope.
They do come back to life.
They have 1 resurrection
One per day.
and it's gone. They lost it to the meteor storm.
Respect.
So
Yeah.
just one. Showers of mist of blood kind of fall back onto you, but it's like a dark black mist because they are very dead.
Oscar, can you point out where the scanner is? We can just get Moki to smash it up.
So the roof, it's about 5 feet past where Moki's blood mace is impacted into the roof.
Moki, we need you to smash that point over there.
Just looks like wooden floorboards on the roof. But yeah, you can
I'll
smash it.
use the spear and stab it.
Okay. You watch Moki stab in, pry a bit of wood out. It's like stabbing wood. Oscar does not see any difference. I mean, as Moki puts his arm closer, you see the sigil does brighten slightly. And as Moki stabs it, the sigil holds that brightness. But as he pokes it and starts to remove small pieces of wood, as he's like chipping out the wood with the spear tip, nothing is happening. Not visibly in the terms of color change. You might have to be on that for a few minutes.
Well, it took him a minute for the door. So I would assume it would take him a minute for these.
You got this, Moki. You just need to keep stabbing there, and Oscar will tell you when you've done it.
You're slowly filing away at the piece of the roof.
Is this spear magic or not?
You should grab his dust. That shit is valuable.
Oh, you're right. It is valuable. Shit, I forgot.
It's disintegrated. You want to go to it?
I don't know. Yeah, disintegrate.
Oh, the spear magical one.
Yeah, it's +1.
Oh, cool.
But it's considered stone and kind of. I wouldn't consider it magical right now
Okay.
because it's just like it's got a stone layer covering it. It is sharp to a degree. So you're able to like make a strength check for me, Marky. This is
So yeah, this wouldn't take
just plus your strength mod. You're not raging, so this is DC 23.
I need a 18. Got 10, 15.
Yeah. So a minute passes, and also you notice that rune is still in, and it looks like Moki's just made a few deep gashes through it.
It's not doing anything.
Yeah, probably had someone who could dispel things.
Yeah.
If only.
I could attempt to remove the magics,
Should I just trigger
but
it?
unfortunately I believe that there is some permanency magic involved, so I'm not sure if my magic tampering will remove one effect or both.
I mean, you lived the last time you tried. So,
I'll just walk under it.
What's your spell resistance?
19.
So an 8 or higher, by the way.
Yeah. You are watching. I rolled a 7, by the way.
Fair by one.
As soon as Monkey goes under it, Oscar is going to dash to as quickly as possible.
Cool, okay.
Try to time it. I ignore creatures when I charge.
You ignore creatures.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty thin corridor, and Monkey's body fills up most of it, so you kind of like do even under the legs, and darts flying, and you're just all of Oscar's back is just gone. Liquefied. You close your eyes, squint for a second, feel your hands, feel your body, and you feel fine.
Because you don't feel half your body gone.
That's true.
You still feel your leg.
My head is not on my body.
Oscar, do you have a magical sense going on right now?
I do have detect magic. Go up.
What does that detect?
Magic.
In a 30-foot radius or a cone?
It goes to 90 feet as well.
It would be 90 at the moment.
And it tells you the score of magic as well.
So you see very.
Oh no, 60 feet.
You see a strong aura of illusion magic kind of coating the back wall where it looks like a study desk is, and where that stairway kind of hits the top off. That's the edge of the illusion on the first floor.
It looks like there's
That's the TV.
Looks like there might be a fake wall back here.
Or it's TV.
Why would it be a TV?
He's just walking by. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's Alexis down though.
Or there might be a TV back.
Should I bash down the wall?
So we need the other to cross.
Oh.
So it seems like if you time it to when it's being activated, he's gonna die.
Do we need to cross? I mean, you guys already.
You want me to just? I can't actually. Well, I guess you can hold the book.
Can you? Well, last time we had a scary book, I went mini insane. No other than saying that I can right now. But
Detect good. Is he still considered good?
I think Monkey's good.
I am neutral good.
Huh?
Yep.
So we said this last section.
Would he still be considered neutral good, or is he more like a neutral now?
I still don't believe you're still neutral.
It's a neutral group.
I'm not lawful. I'm not chaotic.
Living from okay.
Definitely chaotic. You're chaos being.
I will
You're a
let
slug of
him
miracles.
say he's still, yeah.
He's still good.
I'm not.
The way you said that.
Never mind. You can't actually hold the book. You're worthless.
Don't worry,
That's not what
I
it's
have
for.
risen too.
To hold the book.
True. Step under it again.
It's gonna say
It's going to
The next
die.
unrisen goes under.
No. Don't bring the unrisen under it. Wait for Monkey to go under it, and then bring the unrisen through.
what do you want?
I have to say, the first time I went under, my blood tingled. The second time, my blood like sort of flowed under. But
Sure.
you okay? Sure.
You know what you need to roll.
Is it hit point damage?
Yes.
Has this happened enough time that's hit point damage?
What was that last part?
Is it hit point damage?
I got that. Yeah.
Okay, it was 22d6. I could survive that if you don't roll still. So I will go under it again. And
Wait, hold it. Give me a moment. Wait, the big posture is
Isn't that still a touch?
You're right, that means I need to cast truth spells to cast it. Shit.
And he's already walked through it.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Because he's roughed the dice.
It's too quick.
Okay, roll your 22d6. I'm assuming you've succeeded.
What did you get it for?
Yeah, you need to make a 40.
It's intelligence plus spell level.
Plus 10. Plus 10.
Oh, I might succeed then. 22 for
What did you say, Felix? What was the DC?
The DC is 10 plus spell level plus intelligence mod.
not cast
creature that
You
made
don't succeed.
Ah, yeah.
So you take
What spell level?
Goodbye, Monkey.
this 6. You take 26 d6
Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah.
because you cast it at 13.
Yeah. Yeah. 2d6 per. Yeah. You want
I survived.
I got a dice roller. It's all
There's
good.
a chance. 26 d6 is on average only like.
I had 103 hit points, plus 22 more.
That's probably like 70-ish.
It ends up rolling a bunch of fives. If you end up being like 20 damage.
I think you survived.
If it's unlucky.
To be honest.
Okay.
Max damage you roll all 6 is 132.
So for 20 d6s, 78.
I survived.
How much are the rest?
Equal,
25 hit.
equal,
You need another 6.
that total is 100.
Oh, turtle.
So not 78.
I have 3 HP left.
Right,
So you watch as Moki's arm that is carrying Marcus just completely is gone. He's liquefied on the wall, and you see Marcus's stone body hits the ground.
A disintegrated creature's the destroy. Yeah, you're right.
Thanks, Jay. You could have actually said something as Oscar, but instead it's alright.
We actually did that.
Is there stories on
arm's
men?
gone.
I'm letting you.
His does.
You have regeneration. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be
but your arm.
I know somebody hit him for 3 days. What happened to that tiger flying out of nowhere?
Oh, the dice actually landed. It's 99 damage.
I step back.
Into it again.
All right.
The unrisen walks past you.
Now we got to do that one more time.
You see a little flop 5-fingered head, just like Ryan Reynolds.
It's just like I didn't bring back, yeah.
I think we should break a wall on the other side so we can get out of there. Strap is pretty deadly.
Yes.
How much would that heal to regenerate the whole room?
Half your HP.
Okay, I could technically do that.
Good luck, and I will cast a first level cure.
Cool, I'm no longer for sweet bleeding answer.
I'm also going to say that the priest runs through at the same time as the undead.
Okay.
It's one round. You can all make it. A fair few of you can make it, but
No.
people, yeah, I was going to say people aren't, and I'm not going to push you.
It's like doing parkour when there's a dead end.
So you heal Moki. You heal 8 from the priest.
Okay. 8 plus 3 plus it's a 1 die healing.
1 die healing.
15. I heal 15.
You healed 10.
And I heal 10. Did you add my stuff? No. Okay.
So 1 die for Oscar. Yeah. So 2 more.
31 and
Yeah, you're basically fine.
33.
Great, let's move.
Wait, did the priest try to heal Murky with a spell? Did you also try to heal Murky with a spell? Spell resistance.
That's a shoot.
No, it's always up.
I fail.
She called already.
Okay. I'll get rid of 15.
When you see off 13. Wait, sorry.
CL
what's the
13.
cost?
sir.
Cost level. I rolled an 8 plus 13.
That would succeed.
That's
So 21. Yeah.
Nice.
So you get spell with Raging Noble.
Did you succeed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you also succeeded.
Of course I succeed.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
not a
yeah.
caster.
That's why I didn't bother with casting on Death because I realized I had to do that twice.
Are you able to see through Unrisen?
I can tell them what to do, but no, I can't see through it.
So you undead.
You're going to know how to follow me?
Alright, then listen. I want you to listen to Oscar's instructions.
I guess that'll work.
Doesn't have ears, but
It doesn't?
sure.
It looks like an elf
Sure.
because I reformed its corpse.
Let's say it's got the faculties to hear.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't the elf. What was it? Where was it from?
It was one of the undead. It looked like an elf, sure, because it was in the thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, most undead can understand the language of its creator.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sure. So it's not going to look at the book. It's going to follow Oscar.
Yes. Listen to his commands.
You said you found a book. Where is it?
Look to the right of the room. An elevated small dais about a foot off the ground. It's a 15-foot wide stone slab filled with blood, but like in the grooves it's filled with blood, and in the very center is the book which is open. And where maybe you might assume some of the frayed like pieces of paper would be, there's now just like there's no visible sign of pages missing, which from what you can see, and the very center of the binding of the book looks inky black, like very, very strangely black.
I'm gonna do a detect evil. Am I stunned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the book. And the illusory wall, or the illusion wall, was in a different room?
It was boarded on this room.
Okay.
So if you can see it, I don't think you will stun. You can notice it.
I think you're stunned by the wall.
Well, I mean, if it's just illusion magic, I'm not stunned by that.
Mm-hmm. You're not stunned.
Yeah, but I would be by the book.
You're noticing that the staircase is not real, and it reveals another door.
Real like doors.
Or some sort of intricate archway shape, which is outlined by illusion magic.
And this is the same room with the book, or a different room. I'm so confused.
You should maybe look around to find any passcodes to bypass the.
You get a interesting radiating ping of conjuration magic from the dais where that book stands on.
Okay.
Pretty powerful conjuration magic, and even abjuration. That's pretty obvious.
There's conjuration on this, on the pedestal. I assume that means it'll like teleport away if I try to grab the book.
Or maybe we'll summon something.
Conjuration's usually summoning. Actually,
Can I see the circle from this far away?
Are you not in the chamber?
I am at the door.
You're in the
cross. In the room.
You cannot see.
I cannot
You
see.
can see the side of the room that they're in. That's visible, but they're looking to the right, and that is out of line. You're seeing the staircase, which Austin went. That's not real.
well, if I was to prepare a ritual to summon a creature from another plane,
Jonathan will describe how he will create a summoning circle to summon something, and he will ask if this circle is similar.
That's a good way to put it.
So if this thing has one more dash, that will go to hell. Don't
keep your
do
eyes out for any infernal writing or.
This could be Arcana knowledge. Arcana.
Would this be my assistant? I guess.
You can roll, and as
Because
long
I'm
as you
just
beat,
explaining.
as long as you beat 10, you give them plus.
Wait, only roll for planes or Arcana?
I'll give you Arcana. You haven't got a description of what plane it could be related to.
Yeah, sure.
Look at the data, it's kind of, is a very vague.
Does a 24 help me identify the spell?
Yeah, with Jonathan's connection, you're realizing that this is conjuration magic used to.
I got 24, so that's a plus 2.
Okay, so plus 2, so 26. You were able to gauge the opposite of a summoning circle out of this thing, in that potentially there's some wards of abjuration in here as well, which are interesting. They're dimensional.
Looks like it.
Yeah, the conjuration looks to be set. It is really because you're getting a lot of magical aura from that book, but it looks to be set in the book along with abjuration and necromancy fused to form a really disgusting color trifecta. And that book had never radiated conjuration, abjuration before now.
I don't quite understand what I'm looking at, but it seems like it's a dimensional lock on a book. Maybe. Keeps it here.
I see. Then don't touch it or remove anything. It is safe.
Great. We're gonna leave.
You see Oscar scattered papers across the floor, some diagrams. Mostly if you have proficiency in the planes, I guess you're rolling a check.
Okay. Not great. 16.
Okay. There's a lot of this to you that doesn't make much sense, but this is clearly a relation between all of the papers on the ground look to be various forms of transmutation designs merged with necromancy. A lot of the material that has kind of covered the floor are these weird, like, black bells, like little hand bells that are black completely. A few oracle orbs. One is completely like pearlescent, and the other is completely black. And they give you like some contrast on this pentagram dais.
It seems like it's talking about this room.
The papers look probably nothing directly related,
Okay.
but things that have been thrown on the floor in a way to assess how, in proximity, how useful they are. So some of the things on the floor, you're noticing that they're like necromancy based, kind of necromancy on the actual dice itself. You're getting connecting patterns, but you're noticing weird scribbles of some sort of weird triangle in some of the drawings. Some of it looks like two triangles, one on top of the other, upside down, both sides. Symbols of different dimensions, but these symbols are kind of not inverted, but turned in a way to be blocking passage or connection to. You see infernal sigils. You see what you assume might be some of those dark bells connected to Abaddon, aka abyssal tethers. And then you notice an interesting dead root, like a plant, but it is dead and it is dark brown and it is in a spiral. You get a little bit of fey energy from that. And a small piece of gold that's no bigger than the palm of your hand. It's on one of the edges of the diaphragm, and it looks to be, unlike all the others, the least connected. But as Oscar, your brain, seeing the reflection of it, somehow gathers that it is otherworldly gold. The gold that might be tethered to rooted.
And it's just sitting on the desk?
It is sitting very close to the desk. It is like holding down a few pieces of paper.
Maybe Oscar will try to pick it up.
It's like you picked up deck save.
You feel it is comfortably warm in your hand, like it has been radiating a small amount of heat.
I think Mitsu's investigating other worlds, other parallels to world.
We were talking about that when we were trying to put away the Book of Vile Darkness, so I'm not surprised. However, I'm surprised at how fast he advanced.
That does not mean that the book is maintained here through a link to a different chain.
Oscar,
Yes.
can you speak up? I can't hear you.
Do you have a mirror on that side? I wonder if we could use the mirror to disintegrate itself.
There is a mirror at the corner of the room.
If you just slide the mirror, maybe it will fire a beam and the beam will be reflected back into
My intelligence probably requires the book is delicious.
Require creature to trigger the spell. Okay, monkey.
I spin around the raid. I use my orb to get my arm back. That means I have 3 left.
Do this.
Monkey, take
Oh, no, Bobby.
it. Try.
This idea is amazing.
This is very
That's what he's doing.
Right.
Okay,
Let's try. We need to find a way to actually leave. So far, Monkey needs to live. Let's
have a
try on
corpse.
the way out.
Is there a corpse over there? I just remember seeing a body.
It's exploded into blood. There is no body.
There's no creatures here.
There wasn't.
It exploded in the blood.
I
This is
read
just-
No, I thought that was
Monkey saw something which he thinks is an illusion
Yeah, it doesn't
in his
get
own brain.
which means I still have 17.
I'm gonna get closer to the book.
You just told me, right?
You get a little bit of like a high pitch ring in one ear.
with you
I know.
at the entrance.
It makes you think of as you approach it of just evil, the evil that you've experienced in the last 20 hours, how it was still, that it waited for you, how it eased you, lulled you into a sense of superior thinking.
Let's go touch the book of Wild Deer.
He's not touching it, you're just approaching it.
Casually approach the book.
His brain is rushed with the negative emotions connected to the dark beings you've dealt with and the dark aspect of the fact that you found this book and you found that book. And you also know that Jonathan's body was destroyed because of this book, and Sophia's body was embedded with the book after the fact. That took healing from you to recover as you pulled it out. It was fused with her, and it wasn't her book, it was this book.
Alright, this is going to be a bit awkward, but I'm going to possess my unliving, so I can go over that side. So Jonathan will slump his body against the wall.
Alright, against the stairs.
Alright, Ray, keep a lookout.
Oscar's gonna
As he falls and possesses the
just
enemy.
slightly holds terrestrial to the book.
Okay. You're not trying to like flip a page with the sword, you're just holding it there.
Alright, what are you looking at?
You see Oscar's just pointing the long blade of the sword that you pulled from Voss, and he's pointing it at the center, which is the open book, apart. Ribs exposed, but you can see that the book has this horrible wilted, like you've poured water and you've let it dry, that wilted like look to it. All of the pages look kind of molded, all very old.
We're not trying to destroy it.
Well, legends say that the only way to destroy this book is by dropping it into the lake of the abyss.
Legends.
Oscar, Jonathan, as you're looking down around the book, you're noticing papers on the side that are pretty close to the edge of the dais. Spells transmuted in nature, but spells that are awakening unconscious, inanimate minds. And you see that there's scribbles over them, like in an animated or an awakened object spell in nature that has been tampered with, that has had necromancy sigils like smothered over it. Okay, as Roki debates his reluctance to touch the object embedded in the floor, the dais which holds the book of the damned that you've been collecting, or that was forced into your hands, more or less. Jonathan's in an undead body, observing. And Jonathan in the undead form, you observe Oscar start to channel it. Doesn't matter who will be.
I see.
I think I should be able to
Touch the book.
empower my spirit enough to withstand it. And Oscar, who was holding his blade to the book, will sheath it and begin to mutter a prayer under his breath. And I will cast Channel Vigor into my torso to improve my fortitude to a by +6. I will cast Protection Against Evil, which provides me another +2, and I will activate my Judgment of Protection, which provides me another +2. And I'm going to touch the book.
Yeah, and you watch for Jonathan, you watch it in a few seconds. You're kind of like roll. You're not here.
That's one. Get it.
So, 30.
You watch him disappear. You thought for a second he turned black. he is.
This guy.
Where did he go?
And you were literally piggybacking on his back as an undead body. Okay, cool. And then Monkey and Ray argue at the foot of the corridor, which leads to the entryway. That happens for about 4 minutes. And then, while that's happening, Jonathan, you hear from the magic that you cast to illuminate magical energies in the room, which you find many magical signatures and sigils covering the floor, scattered papers, but none of them release magical energy except for the illusion behind you. Which door opens and reveals a frazzled, unkept form of the wizard that you had spent last episode destroying.
What? I feel like he was destroying us.
Definitely was
Destroying until he killed himself. He was winning. And I'm good at imagine myself losing it.
When you hear they have been studying this book ceaselessly since you left, I knew if I were to find the secrets buried in the dark omens you brought into the city, we would all carry this book. And now I feel, and it feels like the very texts that we have uncovered have materialized themselves around us. Think about it, since the moment you arrived, I was thinking it was you who brought the evil into the city, but I think the evil you held was using you and your ignorance to bring those separate pages into a place where it could truly express itself. In my dozens of hours, I have understood it is not only a conscious book, but a doorway into a realm inside of it.
I see.
Whatever had just happened to the Oscar friend of yours, I have no idea where it goes, but all I have taken off is that it is not a hell realm, it is not an abyssal realm, and it is not a celestial realm.
Love that.
I see. I wanted to tell you that if you found any names of celestials or any beings that would be able to hold this book. Seems.
We found none but the one that was in the book itself, the one that you helped us uncover.
Yes, I know ancient rituals to summon other planar beings for quests or the prophecies.
But you were saying you're needing of their titles or names.
I'm saying that the weaknesses of the rituals is how knowing the names. And since I only know one, it could help us knowing more about the book. But the price could be more than we can ask for.
I have only one place where I think those names could be helped. In my exploration of the book, it looks more like that there is a strong possibility, though this is not confirmation, that other parts of the book have been hidden inside of it, because it shouldn't be able to function as a gateway at all, unless it is complete. And that makes me think that it is simply complete for having the pieces that it has to open the door, but not complete enough to unleash the true apocalypse it probably seeks to awaken.
A puzzle, you say?
With unformed pieces, we cannot be sure.
But how are you clear of mind? You were possessed or enchanted by the giantess of oblivion. Or shadows, I don't remember their name too well.
I have not been anywhere but in this chamber, and no dark power has found me. I did receive word from Zandria that you had all been compromised and that your energy had been connected to that of a dark being and banished God.
Yes, I haven't told you. I use the scroll to channel the inner powers of that dark god to destroy it from the self by infusing the divinity into me and spreading it out to the crew. For its divinity was too strong for my current body or soul to hold.
This god, was it a whole god?
That I do not know. Only Oscar really knew more about that being than I did. And while he is now gone.
I'm sorry, I saw a ritual Mitso enter this chamber, which I thought was the simulacrum. I assumed he was not broken, but if he was afflicted by something more, I am sorry. I used dark magic in a test to see if this simulacrum clone I was trying to create using transmutation could absorb the dead that it killed and use their power to improve it, but it looks like I did not do a good enough job.
It was strong enough to detain most of us. In the end, he defeated himself. He realized he could not control his own mind for the enchantments and the vile necromancy spell that was cast upon him, that curse. His hold was too strong, so he caught himself into a mage's sanctum. And then we finished him off to give him mercy.
So, that does not make much sense, but I can gather he was turned against you by maybe Zandri's words. They had no impact or sway over me, but to say that, look, I've not experienced that. I cannot say what he lived through. I do not feel it myself. I do not have the memories either. But if he has seen enough of the outside to be convinced you are enemies, then that could be just how bad the outside is.
Then I recommend you stay hidden, for I don't think anybody believes that you are still alive.
I mean, I made the simulacrum so that I've made another, but it is still being formed. To protect the city. They were always designed to be the bulwark against most of the threats that would stop returning progress. You remember Mitso railing about how he could raise the city back to the way it was. The other Mitso, how he could bring back everything, house the monsters, or let it all drop. It was a very God-centric character, which in looking at his and observing his personality, he's cold, lack of emotion. He's not demeaning, even though his tone might be demeaning in itself.
How many times have you split up your soul?
It has been 4 times total.
There is a limit. If you keep doing this, you will run out of any personal emotions, feelings. You will become a husk.
But it seems that my other selves are very emotional. Are very...
They're pussies.
Yes, they would have fragments of your soul.
So wait, what did you recover the other scroll from Vosk? The beast time?
Yes, I do have the scroll.
I have one scroll signature that is I've sent word of this basically supreme level necromancy magic. I've sent word of it to multiple continents, and only one has gotten back to me. Our southern continent. In the last 12 hours, they will be sending over the information of that scroll to me in at least 4 hours, 3 hours, something like that.
I appreciate the help. Please remember to restrict the knowledge of these scrolls. We cannot have everyone know about this.
Very, very well understood.
Would you like a payment for your services, or?
Honestly, I think it is still I who should be paying you. You've probably burdened yourself with more of a debt than I had foreseen.
I'm in a book.
I think
Again.
we should invite the small foxman inside so that we can all decide what we're going to do.
I see.
Screaming. They're screaming at each other.
I told you the trap doesn't work! He raises his hand and the sigil. You don't even hear the sigil fade or anything. You just hear the large metal mace of Loki hit the ground. The sigil that holds your weapons in the sky is deactivated.
Nice. That's good.
Oh, on the roof. Sorry.
Better than good work.
And Monkey, you watch Mitzel die, and you now see much more frazzled, but also less visually aggressive. The other Mitzel look contorted in both agony, pain, rage, a few other big emotions, and Sky looks emotionless.
Love.
I would not suggest going into the book. I would not suggest it.
Oscar.
He's on instantly.
He will be dead very soon, I'm sure. It is a book of the damned and a book of true evil.
Is there a way to get him out?
It is not a plane of celestial, abyssal, or infernal power. It is outside of my purview.
It's true.
I don't remember your name. I'm sorry.
So,
Eso?
kind of,
Eso. Your power to bring people to sanctum.
yes,
That can bypass extra-dimensional transport.
I realize I might be able to do it at a higher level, which I have one highest level ability left.
We need you to go into the Book of the Damned.
7 levels, no one said that's my brain.
We need you to go to the Book of the Damned and rescue Oscar.
How many people can you transport?
I have one minor heal spell left and one greater magic book.
Don't worry about your minor
I can
heal.
get 4 people, but I'm not sure if you count as 1 or 2.
I would count as 2.
How would you know?
I don't know.
I guess you are the size of 2 people.
No, he knows. He's super.
I've done this before. Shut up.
You wouldn't survive going in, but if I go in and then you tag along with me, then you could survive.
You talking the priest?
Yes.
And Mitsu says, the priest just looks at you like, I have no fucking idea. The priest has no awareness.
Right, well,
Mitsu, I think that was ultimately a very, very unwise decision.
We need to get him out.
it is.
He will form his own way out because the book is safe.
Whatever code doesn't work on plans, guys.
It doesn't work for extra plane travel.
It did with 5e. If you give me a night, I will be able to attune myself to a spell that can move between the planes. I was able to get him. I'm gonna have to pause until he stops, because he won't stop. And then he's horrible. He'll just stop and stop.
Alright, I'll leave it at that.
I could also do with a rest to refresh my spells to help with this issue.
Is there a problem that we don't know what time applies inside of that place? But I would also need a type of rod attuned to the material, any units of a ways of acquiring such. The priest was like, but just here. And Mitzel points to a piece of that's gone. That was in Oscar's hand. Celestial gold.
Yeah.
It points to the floor where Celestial gold was. Okay. I have a few names holding on to the display. One is my staff, and it is very magical. But I am not holding it right now, and I will not give it.
That is okay. We do not need your stuff.
I have told him of the material, and that will work just fine. It is not one that we use for material reasons.
Do you possibly have like a wand used for anti-magic purposes? I am having a horrible problem of bypassing the magical resist of the day. Something about these creatures are very resistant to magical pains.
I have in my drawer a wand of detect magic. And if I spent enough time, I could make a type of anti-magic wand, but it would take a long time.
Don't worry, we must focus on the problem. I was just wondering if I had a spare or anything.
I have very little things I can give you. It's sort of like looking around the room.
You got a good dagger. I could also use for that. I have been using normal daggers.
Unfortunately, you've come to basically the wrong room. I have a masterwork piece of what is a blade, but it is used for cutting paper in boxes.
Cool. I will not take your helpful paper cut.
I will. I have no idea if these
Give
can
me
be
your
used.
sloppy paper.
And
I like the box cut.
pulls open a drawer away from most of these pieces, and you see it's just a drawer filled with gemstones. Takes a small handful.
I also need onyxes. More onyxes.
Oh, what do you mean?
You see, onyxes are the strongest conductive resource that I know currently for necromantic spells. It is used as material for raising the strongest undead possible.
Okay, well, I only have spinal, garnet, topaz, amethyst, sapphire, emerald, and ember. Oh, and diamond.
You were studying necromancy, but you were not using any onyxes?
Not everyone needs an onyx.
No,
That type of
I
necromancy.
didn't realize it was so potent.
that is a mistake for sure, but it's fine. I have a 900 gold onyx only still.
I do not take me more than a day to get more onyx. I will be able to do that, and now that I know it's important, I will
Just
do
clear my
so.
personal mind.
Very, very problematic world. And I'm realizing none of you are sorcerer adepts. None of you can probably use these gemstones. He puts back in the drawer.
They look pretty.
Well, I could use it for lesser restoration, but don't worry about that.
Oh, you see it. Then he just shows you. You see 2 diamonds just like in the air. But you just hold back.
Alright.
There's 400 golden diamonds.
How much are they each? 1,000 gold each. Huge.
12 million
This is 12 million for a resurrection spell, but this is
Here it is up here.
Where is Sophia?
She is back at the fort. Makeshift fort.
The priest is like, I would be able to use that if we're in a pinch, and I have no rest.
You should probably hold them.
Okay.
Because,
He's gonna leave us.
He puts it in his tabard jacket. Okay.
Like, give him for his resurrection the next day.
Only got 7 levels.
he is simple.
This is the most profitable resurrection ever.
true resurrection. We have regeneration.
Assuming also the soul must be free in order to return.
I think you should all take a long
I think that there's nothing else you can do right now. Oscar has made a very stupid decision and you should all wait it out.
He does that.
Alright.
Or risk all of your deaths by entering right now.
But wouldn't it be funny?
We have no idea what the time dilation is inside.
I could come out immediately.
This is head pokes out. It's like, no, I'm done. We're back.
Guys, I might be evil now, but it's fine.
Do you believe we should follow Oscar, or should we let him figure out his own way? I am stuck in the bypass.
Well,
For the city still needs our assistance.
Screw the city.
In 12 hours, I should be able to send out a simulacrum. So,
this city is
All of those
City's
innocent people.
dead.
relatively stable.
They took it though.
Like, the only is
but he's gone.
gone, they're dead.
There's a giant horde of zombies.
Well,
That is an issue.
Coming to Devil Invasion.
I've
Yeah.
spent more time thinking, and I should pick up my rampaging army that is reaching my rendezvous point.
It's not your army yet. It's the enemy's army.
No, it is under my control still.
And it's rampaging?
No, they're running to one location. It's just if anything fights them, they're under strict orders that if somebody fights them, they're free game. They're allowed to protect themselves.
So
The
when,
temple, those
so
people
when,
fighting undead, right?
so when the remaining troops of this city see a horde of zombies,
And they do not
Very true.
immediately attack them.
why wouldn't they?
If they
Just
do,
one arrow, the whole horde just turns. Oh god! I shouldn't have been on defense.
also they'll only be attacking the person who attacked, not the rest of them.
Until the rest of them attack it.
Have you ever been in a bar brawl?
Seems like a great thing to just let loose on the city.
Look, I really did this to cut all the gnolls and other creatures running around, like were-rats and such. But yes, I do know that humans can make the stupid mistake of attacking a monster stronger than them.
Before
I'd win.
it. True.
I think I could take a blue golem or something.
I can kill a bunch of kids.
Find a baseball bat, infinity roll.
Okay, Anakin, jeez.
So,
Already did it.
I agree, Miso. I will go deal with this problem before it becomes too big. And once I heard it out, I am going to spend some time with Gundir to just rope up and clear the streets out.
I can make sure that the pathway to there is easier. But I cannot teleport your animal if it is not here. And I do not mean teleport, I mean get you closer, not that close.
Where is the one David point?
Why don't they just get my
King's,
Yeah,
King's Keep, which is the polar opposite side of the city. So at least at normal pace.
Wait, is that the place I went to? Why are you on the, where are they doing that?
That was our original goal, to meet
Oh,
up
wait,
there.
with the horde.
Yes, to meet up there, because we were expecting to find something, but we never went over there.
The king isn't there anymore.
I see.
No one's there. Maybe a few soldiers who are stubborn, but really no one's there.
If you could get me there, that would be good.
Is that empty quarry if you need to bury the bones?
I will deal with the undead horde
The evidence.
if we are all set. I have the Whisper Stone is only for the
You
Unclean.
seem to sort of just walk through a illusory wall.
Damn, it's not a TV.
Midway through conversation, just kind of walk. I mean, you know that door, there's a door open, but for you it just looks like marble plaster wall. Just disappears. And then this Jonathan, you're aware that there's some sort of siphoning of divine energy past that illusory wall. You can feel it, just like moving, shrinking in some part and then growing in another. Like watching one candle flicker dull and another brighten.
Whose divinity did you steal to
Your mother.
use for that?
Are you poking your head through the illusion to ask? Or are you
He's
just...
just asking.
Okay. There's no response immediately, because he's not in front of you. And then you watch Mitsu exit the illusory wall. What did you say? Sorry.
Whose divinity did you steal to power yourself?
It was not stolen, it was offered. It was taken directly from Zandria. She is mostly a mage of the highest proportions. She is also some divine power.
Zandria can wield arcane and divine magic, you say?
Very rare.
It
She
is.
is also a half demon, which is
Ah, that explains it more.
below this.
I do not trust demons, but
The borders of their control are much wider than ours. Any planar being has much more options.
yes. I too can bypass the restrictions of divine and the arcane. However, my magic is considered both for the effects of dispelling and such. So I am crippled more by anti-magic than others.
He says, pulling out a brochure. That's what his magic does. But for the small price of 7,000 gold a fortnight, you can get it too.
That is a big problem you've got. I cannot offer you much of anything other than I have one warded scroll of anti-magic. I have one. If you need it so desperately, I'm willing to give it to you as an offering of kindness.
It is alright, do not worry. For the downsides, there are many benefits.
Just me only being able to cause necromancy.
Well, now I have siphoned enough power, I will be able to cascade.
Wait, can we go to the bottom? I need to get my dog.
Walk 2 hours down there and then 2 hours back up.
Oh, wait, is it 2 hours to get up? Okay, wait.
This looks so annoying.
Alright, Jonathan will go near the exit. He will whistle the dog so it starts coming up.
Okay, that dog cannot fit well. It's a narrow passage that a horse can move up with carefully. Your dog is getting there, and you slowly hear your dog.
Doesn't need to use its levitation ability.
Oh, it can't bring the sword through. That's for sure.
It needs to take the sword. Oh no. Alright.
Sword dies instantly.
Well,
it can use levitation, but it's not like basically. You're sure. Like you notice your dog takes a different route, doesn't climb, doesn't make a weird visual. Like you don't see its energy do a corkscrew. You watch its visual energy go up, and then just kind of plateau onto the spot. And you realize that there's multiple holes in these pathway walls where parts of the tower that would block view and eyeline have fallen. So he's probably just entered from one of those. But you don't see the dog move up any further. He's probably moved 40 minutes closer.
how far can you sign your gate?
I'm going to have to walk. Alright, fine.
Alright.
I can't do it an hour away.
If I jump off and land on my dog, could you summon the gate underneath the dog? And you can fall through both of it.
Yes, I can. However, the propelling energy that, like if someone else were to jump, you would spin out of control on the other side of the gate.
Don't worry, I know how to negate inertia.
Magic, guys.
Mr. just shrugs, gives that expression like it's magic. Alright.
That's gravity. 2 mask.
That can close.
You see him
Feathers.
move over to a wall, wash his hand over the wall, and you watch all of the marble like slabs just kind of open, creating an archway that wasn't there before, and like a walkable archway, but it is just to the window where there's nothing. There's no window at all. You see him look down, fire some energy from his hand downwards. If you're ready.
Alright.
Ray and Mike are still there, yeah?
Yeah.
I will come find me if you need help. I will be heading to a long march after I find them. Let's meet back at the temple district. As Jonathan jumps off,
He takes his hat
takes his hat off as he falls. As he goes, Gundir! Let's go! As he hands on the back, the dog's like,
And he just like uses the sword to like catch you. That's a rough thing for the dog to do. But he does it. Catches you with the sword, but throws you on your back.
lands on the sword, cartwheels.
Yeah. It's a horrible like loss of gravity because you're going down, you're spinning like this, and then suddenly you're back. You're just forward thrust the moment you've passed through this. And you realize that your dog at an angle is like its back legs are the only thing that is touching the ground. Its whole upper body is vertical. Make a strength check. This is DC 20. This
For
is
John or the dog?
This is for John.
Alright.
This is a whole bunch of your doggy.
Alright, that's 19.
Okay.
I have +0. So it's just a nat 19.
You sure it'll be like a ride?
Oh, you watch it. Yeah.
Because that's a lot better.
Yeah, DC 20 ride. I wish I had that here. I do!
Alright, that's a 27 then.
Control. Yeah, 20 was your DC. Cool. It's more like you're feeling your elbow joint kind of pop out and pop back in from the amount of force. You feel your dog take on a building to stop itself. And at this point, you have no idea what part of the city you're in. But you've entered certainly out of the area of the air spies, and you look to a direction and you see King's Keep, all of that square structure, you see it in the distance, and you look the other way, and much closer to you is the air spies. He did not get you nearly halfway across the city. You'll have at least 20 hours to go.
Oh my god.
The game stall wasn't long enough.
I never said he'd get you there.
No.
Did you tell him exactly where?
I said the King's.
The King's Keep, okay. Okay, well then he would have got you pretty much most of the way there. So you're now looking at a very, very distant air spires, looking very, very close. I never said he'd get you there.
No.
Did you tell him exactly where?
I said the King's.
The King's Keep, okay. Okay, well then he would have got you pretty much most of the way there. So you're now looking at a very, very distant air spires, looking very, very close castle walls, probably 2 hours. Probably 2 hours. But if you use buildings, you don't care about destroying the buildings, you'll get there probably in an hour.
Alright, check.
And you will find your board. You also see Cicero, but we'll do that later.
Kissy boy.
This is my favorite thing.
You watch as Mitso finishes and reforms the wall so that there was never a hole which Jonathan jumped out. What do you both want to do?
Touch the back.
Also, not there.
Yeah, no, I just look at the book.
Do something dumb.
I need rest.
The priest is like, everyone was quick to rest.
I should be away from you all in case I go insane and start killing you.
I should pull the spear out.
I'll take the spear with me.
You see Mitso walks to the door, the entryway of the place, and just puts the door back in place, and you watch the whole door kind of reform. Monkey, you just sleep outside the door. You offered. I will open the door in the morning, sure when you have not broken it down with it.
I'll come back in the morning, but I'm gonna go out and find something to eat and sleep in like a burned down house.
Sure, as he walks you out.
Yeah.
You walk out and he says, there's nothing to worry about there. Good luck, and closes the door.
He doesn't know I eat corpses.
What an idiot!
I mean, you did see corpses so
Oh.
There was like a bunch of corpses here.
Yeah, go back there.
Yeah.
Find that thing.
They were being eaten, so and you've been gone for a few
I
days.
stay in this tower, find a broken down building, grab like 5 corpses.
Okay, so the
Much
towers
asleep.
are all surrounded by black meadows. There's no bodies.
No. I'll sleep.
There is a broken airship to your right.
Oh.
There is a broken tower to your left. And it's just open black plains of scorched earth.
Broken airship. I'll sleep in that.
Oh, yeah.
There was a bunch of bodies there.
They're all being charred.
There. Oh, I can eat child.
Pretty good.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Delicious.
You had been stepping over them accidentally because they're like black against the surface is pretty hard to tell. You effectively grab 2 arms that have a very small amount of flesh on them.
Yummers.
It's not enough food to sustain you to call it proper sustenance. It's not a meal.
You did only eat a body like a few hours ago.
I ate 2 bodies. 4 hours ago.
You consume I guess enough calories. Alright. So the group rests upstairs. You hear the rumbling of a building, but it seems like it's deep into the darkness, and so you kind of trail towards it. And then you hear multiple sounds. It sounds like they're fighting each other, climbing over each other, some sort of sound, very tight proximity, about 3 or 4 different voices. You hear 5 things around your head suddenly. surrounded by shadow.
Alright, I hear things moving.
1v1. 1v1.
I can't
You
hear
hear multiple things move.
multiple things moving, so this is not going to be a very fair fight. If he starts it.
Wait a minute.
I mean, and that's not the sound of a big thing that you heard move earlier on that swiped a building. That sound itself and the echoing it did was when it moved slowly, so its footsteps were audibly loud, but then they were very displaced and far between.
I'm going to cast Detect Otherworldly Presence. I'm going to get stunned if I pick it up.
You're fine. I think you're fine.
Unless it's not in the range.
I think you're fine.
I think
Is it hit die 16?
so.
I don't think you're fine.
CL 5.
No, but is it hit die 16?
Maybe good.
Or less?
Hit dice is 6.
Okay, I'm fine. I'm actually stronger than. Wait, kill it. Well, I guess I'll take out the trash. And start draining their lives.
Bin Judy.
I love it. So this is a touch attack, just to remind me.
Yeah.
We'll skip through this touch attack of 12, which I believe you're not going to.
I can't miss unless
And you're absorbing strength. Now, these things have a 19 strength.
Okay, it'll take a long time. It's D6.
Miss off the time.
So you just roll me like 2 hits to begin with. Just roll me 2. I'm not, and obviously the damage with it because
I also dodge chances also because we're blind.
I think that just decreases hit to hit, really? Is that?
No, it's miss chance still.
50%.
Yeah, so it would take even longer than normal.
Alright, well, I'm just going to roll. I'm going to roll for the first 2.
But also I have that as well. Unless they can see.
Yeah.
So it's even worse.
So
I would say above 11.
Are they have magical attacks?
First one fails, so you hit the first guy, and the second guy you also hit. I rolled a 7 and a 5.
Okay.
They do have a spell resistance of 16.
Doesn't matter. It's not spell resistant. I am
They have
a
magic weapon.
I am a mythical creature.
They have no magical weapon.
Okay, they can't. They are dead.
Okay, so you suck the life out of the same guy twice?
Give them a
You're
suck.
just gonna same guy twice.
Yeah.
So you're slowly starting to suck, and then you realize the sounds that they were making in mass decreased. You're hearing this like.
It's like he ghost.
That one lost 10 strength.
From those 2.
Yeah, I lost 6 and a 4. I'm doing it.
And then suddenly its sound ceases. Because they all have greater teleport.
No, brilliant. Much pleasure. Love that for us.
Greater teleport. Alright. Luckily, it takes.
Attack opportunity.
Attack opportunity that creature.
I mean, you're floating and you can't see them, but yeah, make an attack of opportunity.
Takes a mischance, it could fail. That hits.
So can you tell me above or below?
Let's go.
I feel like you probably have enough.
Love it.
I can't kill it though.
I rolled an 8,
Alright, so misses.
so below.
Blow.
You slide out with your shadow to strike at this thing, and then
I think this thing is going to retire.
you feel it's like all of these creatures, the space inverts, and suddenly they're gone, a little bit of wind pressure.
That thing gets strength every day by 1. So it's going to
So
take.
it's a 9 strength creature. It's as weak
It's going
as
to take 10 days for it to recover.
it's nearly as weak as an imp.
Yep.
Okay. You watch as underneath you a hand that only becomes visible when it's directly underneath you appears. Flat palm, like pressed to the underside of your shadow. It's not going through you, it's like holding just below you. You see the center of the palm of the giant monster's hand flash red in the form of a circle.
I don't have to see this, but yes. I am blind.
And you are able to see light come through when like the spell specifically says you can see some light. It makes it dim light. So this was bright, turned to dim.
Okay.
Magic circle against good, trapping you in the palm of its hand using magic circle.
Alright, do you want to make a save or is it no save?
There is no save. This is what I did to Oscar when he wasn't there against the fight with Loki and the first Odessian creature before.
terror. Why do you try to stop me? Our goals are united. We're taking back this land.
Oh, it's your turn. Okay. Well, you can touch the palm of his hand, which he's locked you into.
So that's the touch attack.
It's a 7 to hit.
No way you can miss now.
You're right, I can't.
He has a spell resistance of 22, but now it's not a spell.
It's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's a special ability. It's a.
Like, no, it's
I don't know
not
what the
really
rules are on
for
it
Right.
at all.
Well, sometimes we have special abilities like supernatural.
It doesn't have the tag after it.
Of course not, because it's a piece of.
They just suck you.
Go ahead.
Alright, so are you sucking him?
I can see him.
You can see.
You can see his
So
hand.
does he have 50-50? Not really, because I'm hitting his hand.
He's literally touching you as well. So.
Yeah, okay. Well, he can't touch
Your shadow can't touch you, but you can see
alright.
the glyph sigil on his sword to hold you in place.
So the first attack drains free strength.
Okay.
And the second drains 6.
So annoying. I didn't want.
And he lowers his hand all the way to the ground, like basically forcing you to. Basically keeping you like a cage without ever actually putting his hand over you. Your body, as he lowers his hand and you are like 5 feet away from the sigil, you feel like there is a container above you that just won't let you leave a 5-foot proximity from his hand. So you're like slowly lowered down near the ground, and it looks like he's like a politeful person releasing an insect into the wild.
Oh. I like this guy.
And then you hear the bigger demon say,
So annoying. Phistophilis. Break it.
Oh.
and you see as you're lowered down to the ground, you see this like strange, blubbery, dark green creature covered in almost priestly garments. Small broken bat wings on its back.
There's a whole cult of them here.
He's casting break enchantment on your.
Alright, 50-50. Yep.
Okay, so break enchantment.
Yep.
I got a 24.
That works.
So that vanishes.
Even if you weren't trapped, he uses his other hand, raises the monster up, the monster looks at you, does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, you come to the same conclusion.
Yeah. Alright, come here.
Good try that.
We can do it 5 more times. I'm so glad I'm such a high level caster.
Let's do it.
I can do it one. Yeah.
Let's find our undead horde. Let's
let's
deal
get
with the fiends.
So let's go find the
It's up to
I
you.
won't.
You will
This-
take a little while to go around, well, not a little while, you take like 5 more minutes to go around, detour the spherical radius of that dark orb that you make for your horde. You arrive at the horde. As Cicero notices Gundir arrive at the edge of where the horde is located, you see it. You see the dog arrive. You have been waiting to see what the horde did. They 5 minutes ago they arrived at this spot and have just been hovering. One guard that looked like maybe an undead, but then got closer and you realized just a really injured guard just completely ignored the mass hordes and walked past it, and they seemed non-responsive.
What are you doing?
You yell to him?
There's a horde of zombies right there.
My sword is broken!
Move that way.
I am! Fuck you! He walks off.
Being a little injured does not mean you can just throw your life away for no reason.
Oh! Throws his sword down. I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm done with protecting
Over
the stupid city. Did I see John on his back?
Yeah!
Oh. John!
You hear... You see a roof of a building 4 blocks away, just like a little hand.
That's not moving over towards him.
2 minutes later, Jonathan, if you're other than perceiving, you get a clear sign of Cicero in wreck jumping through the buildings. Arriving before you. Now you notice that Jonathan has a 70-man horde. Most of them aren't goblins, but there's a good 20 goblins in there, and there's about 30, 40 gnolls, furry monsters. Yeah.
Oh, you got your hold of undead that you wanted.
Yes, I had to make sure that this did not go out of control, and they all seem to be doing well.
Okay. Well, it's nice to see you alive.
I didn't expect to see you here.
Yeah, I sort of went back, ran off, and then I came back and you were all gone. And it was, and then Leaf and Erica were there, and then a bunch of bodies. What have you guys been doing in the few hours?
Well, we ran to the tower, where we looked at, we found the book of vile deeds. It was protected.
Okay.
Isn't the Book of Evil Deeds?
That's the deed.
Did you find the scroll?
The scroll is safe. I decided not to take it, for it is in better hands for now. And I was going to stop this undead horde in case it got stolen by another enemy. Can you see those fields over there?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of demons now.
Yes, I tried to kill them. I have failed.
Oh.
They dispelled me by spending high-level magic to restrain me and restrict me.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anyways, I got like 4 more costs of this. I don't think it's worth it.
I mean, if you think you can kill him. He's a big guy. He killed a bunch of gnolls and then turned them into a bunch of flying demons.
That is not good.
Yeah.
In fact, it's evil.
Well, on the bright side, I was like 10 feet from him. He didn't instantly vaporize me, so. Winning. Yeah, it's like touch around. Where is everyone?
So everyone is just at... Oh, we lost Oscar.
You lost him now?
He touches the book of vile... Book of the Damned. And got sent to the demi-plane inside of it. Forever trapped in the realm, and we decided that we should rest up, have a break, actually think about ourselves, clean up the city a bit before we enter a demi-plane to save him.
Here.
Okay, good idea.
Reasonable.
Because we have been going crazy this whole night.
Why did Oscar do that?
I don't know. He lost his family recently. I think he is
suicidal. Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Alright, what about the others?
Moki stayed behind. He is also losing it. He lost the cursed axe, which is good news.
He didn't go outside again, did he?
No, but it is expected.
Oh, great.
Asol, he is doing fine. He is just having a little breather. And Ray was very silent. He was helping us for a bit, but...
He's been quiet ever since we got back. I think his throat's just burned a little bit.
Normal Ray things.
Okay.
I still feel his presence great.
Did you guys do something with Mitzo's body? Because it wasn't there.
Yes, I puppeted his body, and Mitzo's still alive.
Of course, it's an archmage.
Yes, it was a simulacrum all along. It's a very clever trick.
Oh, simulacrum.
Yeah.
No.
He's gonna get another one tomorrow to run around the city. So tonight I am going to be hoarding this undead herd to just wipe out some scum around this place.
Okay. We're just gonna... Okay, apparently there's like 5,000 people in a little... like a fort over there.
I see. We should probably help them. If they do need help.
Well, I mean, they're a fort. But I guess if you're going to go around killing things, that would help anyway.
Yes, I was just going to go for a skull. A bit of a cutting.
I don't know. What are you calling?
Oh, you know those gnomes and rat folk you see around the area?
Okay.
And now there's demons on the line, but I'm not going to try to deal with them for now.
I feel like we have to find the leadership of playing here.
I mean, Jonathan, you got a pretty good idea, just of that interaction. You assume it's fiends, but they were speaking in abyssal tones, so that kind of like maybe the hells and the abyss are now weird because they're kind of together. You know that. You also are going to guess that from what they actually said about you that they were, and what you heard it say to another creature that you couldn't see, that was trying to make deals in the darkest time, when the need of like in the greatest need, these creatures were using the disadvantaged to make bargains.
I forgot to mention, the demons are recruiting right now.
Well, yeah, of course, the territory war has already started here.
It is unfortunate that we will have to get some witch hunters soon to remove anybody who converts to demonism.
Well, you're planning on trying to hold this city.
Well, I got the whole...
It's not just going to be devils. All the other countries in the continent are going to come here.
Yes.
Except for the elves, of course.
But currently, I got this mutant mushroom undead creature, and I'm just going to do a cunning.
Sure, what I meant more was, are you going to try to keep all the people here alive? They're all going to start it in like 3 weeks.
To the best of my abilities, yes.
Okay, well, we're all going to start it in like a month.
Yep. I am the worst at dealing with that issue, but I'm sure that they could figure out how they did it. For so long, they've been getting constant flow of food.
Because they had an open trade and a port.
Or Miso will open up
farms
a gate.
outside, and all of their caravans didn't get eaten by things when they came into the city.
Or Miso will open up a gate to wherever the hell he got food to feed this whole city.
John just has no idea how industry works.
Okay.
There's a forest like right next to the city.
Should I help you with the culling?
No.
Sure.
That's too obvious. Jesus.
Okay.
I am going to be laying my
Inside the
wolf.
city till death.
I'm going to have like a little nap. You can sit on Gundyr with me.
Cornfields and
That's what's up, space.
Sure.
stop.
I'm just going to sit here and direct my hordes to do stuff. You can join in if you want. I'm just going to be watching and making sure they don't hurt anybody.
Nice.
Alright. Army, we march to remove the scum of the nose. Another stuff.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Stuff.
I don't know more.
That's perfect because all I was going to say is you see the army do nothing.
Inspiring speech to a bunch of undead.
You see the big minotaur does look to like move its head up like, good lord, I'm finally doing something.
I feel
But
inspired.
nothing else moves. All of the goblins are still like, on the ground looks scattered.
Onwards.
Do you mentally command them or just like talk?
He's verbally
You verbally command them onwards.
onwards. No. He doesn't verbally command them. He verbally commands the Minotaur, which then commands them all. Yeah.
So, just as a question, Jonathan, you.
So if the Minotaur is killed by anything, all of these things go feral.
Yeah, their vanguard leader, if dead, becomes the vanguard abstainer. But so you've watched these. You felt, to some extent, these creatures move through the whole top half of the city, like the eastern border. Now they've come across the northern kind of edge to Kingstock Keep. Do you want them to go back down the pier, the actual coast side? Or do you want them to just run through the center of the city? Where do you want them to
Currently, since Cesar said where the people are,
Yeah.
Jonathan's going to go near the people and then just kind of scout around those areas
Okay.
and just keep going through the city slow process.
Pretty neat, yeah.
But Jonathan's mainly going to be
resting / sleeping.
What we gonna do?
Okay.
Okay.
Because he has a nice saddle.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be resting, but it's just going to make sure that they are
Good. Okay.
You have to do it for 12 hours. You get full rest.
Yep. 16 hours.
16 is good. That's
His
his curse.
curse is by far the worst.
16 hours for full rest. So
Don't worry, that's like literally moving across the whole city. Like, don't worry, we'll time skip you. Perfect. And luckily, you've chosen kind of a good move. Most of the early buildings closest to the temple courts have been holdable people because they're the closest proximity to the safe area. So you guys are finding, you know, the non-human folk who that have weeded themselves closer to the temple courts, but are not that close. So
I sure hope the fort doesn't send out a force to kill us.
you have no sense of how big this storm is going to get, but you feel that the more thorough you pick through, the slower you'll grow, but the more consistently. Like you're not losing troops.
Who's all of them,
But
do you
it's
think?
also
Or do you think there's some loose around the city?
I think there's going to be. Oh, you mean my zombie horde? Ah, this is all good. The rest died to the meteor swarm. That.
Sure. Okay.
You have
That's
seen some that have just been collapsed underneath broken parts of buildings, where like the Minotaur has busted through the wall, most of the goblin hordes move through, and then the scavengers have mostly had debris fall on them. So you know that there's
Well,
like
I mean, some of them are spread out because they got their legs ripped off, so they're just crawling.
I see.
don't worry, walls in the distance, just like
That will be
this is my life.
phase 2 is eradicating them.
Tomorrow, problem. Understood.
The helpful knights stab a crawler in the brain. Suddenly the whole horde's
Thank
down.
the Lord.
It's like, what is this?
following you.
Suddenly it's a swamp. That's fair.
So that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Okay, so you want to be doing that for while like you're resting the entire time you're doing it?
he's resting unless he needs to do something. Resting.
Okay. And so what's Cicero doing as Jonathan is departing? And you know, obviously he's departing towards the place of safe haven that you were heard of with all the monsters, which you haven't seen yet. You've seen it from above. You saw it in the Phoenix. The Phoenix back.
I mean, I'll tell you what I know. I sent a bunch of people here, like a group of soldiers. I tried to distract with me. I don't know if they lived or not. Yeah, I just sit here with you unless you tell me to do something else. Let's go!
Jonathan's just resting.
I was gonna say you want to rest with him.
Nap time. Well, I am
Back to back.
Oh yeah, I'm resting. I'm not trance in this current, so I'm resting.
Oh.
Man.
I learned it a long time ago from a bard.
This is necromancy.
It is necromancy. It helps you
Where did
sleep.
you get that?
From the
Like a shadow loot or something. Yeah, it's not
As
bad.
I said, Farina is the god of sleep. About to go them in.
I don't understand your whole. Do you expect her to come back at some point, or do you think that you might revive her?
One time, I sacrificed myself believing that she has had a greater purpose than me, and that she deserved to come back, sacrificing my life and the other followers' lives. Now that I'm awake from that sacrifice, I do not know what happened. So for the answer to that question, I do not know.
Okay. Well, this isn't really a good place for you to start a new religion.
It is okay.
What's okay?
I think it is not about the religion, but the teachings of Farina that is more important to carry on. For I don't think there is any divine blessings or powers you can gain from her in this state.
Well, it doesn't seem much.
The divine teachings are full 8 hours of rest.
Doesn't seem much different from Tuella.
It's funny. If you use that spell, you can hit back and do my badges pure checks, every 2.5 days.
Oh.
I can't do anything. We don't hang out though, so
We didn't hang out.
Unfortunately, you'll never succeed in steps. Also, I don't know how it works in restful sleep. That's why I've never casted. Because when you're awake,
I can succeed in my multiple personality throw.
With
I'm schizophrenic. I just have to
I
live.
don't think
I
it
cannot get
works well together.
You haven't told us anything of your religion.
Oscar assessed it to be Farina or Persephone, which was an Isaurian god. That was when you first met, that's what he called it. That's what Cicero remembered.
I'd be interested in that.
Well,
I guess you want to sleep.
I do want to rest, but another time I'd love to tell you.
I just mean that your able isn't learned. The people here are not like they used to be. They've been almost godless for centuries at this point.
I
They believe what people tell them to do.
an old proverb that my people had. Man built an inn on the side of the road. At the side of the road, nothing was around that inn. No one was around. Yet people came. Simply, if something exists, things will come.
This seems like one of those proverbs that don't really mean anything. People don't just appear out of nowhere. What do I know? Maybe you're right.
Do something. You sit on each other. Well, you sit on each other. And then it got gay real fast. You don't sit cross-legged in each other. You do sit back to back. At some points it's uncomfortable, and most of the time it's very comfortable. To an extent where Jonathan has padded this back.
Man, I kind of need some armor.
We return to the doorway that opens from the inside. Moki, do you climb the tower again in the morning?
Yeah, I would. Go. Hour and a half.
It's as you approach that you hear the door open. The silver hair of Mitso emerges out. Good, we have been waiting for you.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Yeah, well, great. Let's give it a shot.
Good, don't understand. Ray, the priest on the inside.
Nice. I could just call him back.
There's no way for me to get Jonathan and the other sister, the elf.
He goes by Emmerich now.
Emmerich. That's ironic. We need, I can make, for a very costly amount of money, I can make a gateway directly to them, but I would rather hold that magic for if, when you return, worse circumstances are occurring. I do not know the time dilation inside this place. You could be gone for months. But hopefully bound inside this circle, these sigils around protecting the book hopefully will keep it bound to the timeline of this plane. So as long as you're gone in there, I'm hoping it will only be equal time to the time in this world.
Could we bring the priest with us?
I don't want to go. He doesn't want to go, but I think he should.
I would like.
The priest is like, I already said I would. I know. I just didn't want to.
I would like to be there to help with my madness.
All right. Yes, of course. I was only going to do it as a favor to Oscar. But I owed him.
Yes. By the way, if I do have an episode and I eat you, you probably deserve it.
You should be sure if you are coming or not. If you don't want to deal with that, it's just...
I mean, he was the one
What I
with the plane
need,
shift.
I need some sort of binding agent, because, well, we don't grab such a lot.
It just means that. Didn't the priest say he wants to be able to cast plane shift?
The priest said he had to sleep.
Yeah,
He had the power
We
to
need him.
You're coming with us, old man.
You're coming, old.
Old man. I'm gonna make you come, old man.
And 4 minutes later, Mitchell returns to the room with a small talisman-like object.
I really like this old man.
I'm assuming it might be something a little bit like that. It is a dark item. It is likely holding a very dark place. I think Oscar will not be, there's a good chance Oscar will not be the same. As long as you are in this domain, if you are considered a good creature, you cannot sleep and get rest. And I've looked this up. It's the condition known as a nightmare, which is a human problem. It apparently afflicts any person who attempts to sleep inside this.
A human problem?
I think. Do you sleep?
Pretending you've never
Does
had
it
a nightmare
apply
before.
to non-human?
It is simply if you are able to dream, it will turn your dreams against you and make it so that you cannot sleep.
What if your dreams are already against you?
All these fun guys.
Dream.
I'm not sure.
Me.
I'm sure that there's a small chance that your brain might be strong enough to overcome such a problem.
No, I'm just worried. I already have stuff in my head.
I'm sure that this book, going inside of it, will ensure that the darkest thoughts of your mind are brought to the surface.
Oh.
Love that.
Maybe when we go in there, be prepared for me to completely flip out and
Maybe
try and
he
kill
should-
everyone.
I don't think I should go anymore.
Maybe you should go and he should not.
It's just like, is there?
Maybe know this, and I'll find it.
There's nothing I can do.
I'm happy with that.
Maybe Oscar will kill everything in the book.
I'm not really good at
They're all children.
Maybe
Oscar's oh my god, he's gonna plus a million bucks.
Wait, don't you have rest? Oh, we keep watch. Shut up.
Keep five. He doesn't need to sleep to get rest.
I'll just be Doomslayer for a bit and just kill it.
Magic circumvent that? I know Oscar has a some piece of magic lets him sleep without sleeping.
That might be your way.
We entered the
That
book.
might just save his life, and it might save you time.
outside.
But this is no guarantee that you will be in the same place that he is in. There's no guarantee that the gateway out will even be there.
It's just a book. How big could the book be?
Because it's
I assume it might not be larger than a mansion. That is my guess.
Huh?
Like a home. Normally, the size of interdimensional space put into an object cannot be 100 or 200 times larger than a set object. There is binding rules to its power. However, this is an artifact item made by an angel.
Made by an angel.
An angel that is probably closer to God than a wizard. Which means that this mansion could be like a rich mansion, like a castle. Oh yeah.
Damn, you guys are about to spawn in Keter.
Do you have a way of going in there without
He's already on round
attacking us on the way in?
No. But we do have a priest that can get you out.
I'm trained.
At the first moment you need to get out. Unfortunately, that's all we can hope for, is that the priest, assuming that you will land in the same spot, will be able to get you quickly out. If you see Oscar's dead body just lying there on the ground, then you just leave straight away. Don't worry about exploring the place. We can look in the pages later. This is not even a scouting mission. This is you getting a person you trust back.
Okay, that is good to know. Priest, can you grab my hand real quick?
Of course. You went in, and I undid the contract.
Oh!
No, on the box.
Let's go! You do feel like you're grabbing.
You guys are still like 4 hours away.
Yeah, you watch as Ray squeezes the man's hand a little too tightly. You hear this, and he's gone.
We're both gone.
You look back, and they cut off of that sound.
It's a fort save, or you immediately die.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, wait.
DC 24 save.
Do we know about that?
Yes, we do. He did.
Oh, well, then in that case.
I don't think they would have told. Yeah.
Because I am
The only person who's ever held the object is Oscar. In the
I mean, we were planning on touching
John
it.
knew you were
Yeah. I was gonna have all you get on me, then I do it because I have plus 15 against death effects.
You know, I did forget about this effect, but also we don't know in character, right?
Let's just say, because I'm being nice, that the priest, as you crush his hand, gives you guidance. So that's +1.
Sick.
You know, I was just thinking we'd all teleport then. You know what? Better use
Okay,
it.
I just
kill him.
Okay, I'm pretty sure the priest is dead. What's the fort save, Ray?
That's
He's
it.
actually really good at
+8.
He's like,
Maybe not that.
So +9 plus with the guidance.
With the guidance.
You know this? It's right here, TPK. Okay.
I probably do.
Do you have any bonuses against death effects?
Oh, but you can, remember, you can reroll.
That's a good point.
Yeah, grabbing up my...
One is like, my might specifically be not against effects.
I think it's
It might just be a
I
fail.
don't know what you're.
I'm just
If it's
getting it
against the
up. It
saving
takes me a
throw.
second.
Wait,
It's a fortitude 20.
I just realized if I
Hey, if I was level 8, I'd have a 1 higher.
I could touch it and it's not work when it fails to grip off my focus.
Let's see. It's under my...
No, it won't fail.
Oh, okay, then that's
What's the DC to succeed?
20.
Wasn't it 24?
It's a 20!
you succeeded.
No, I haven't rolled.
He's just
I'm getting
laughing.
out my reroll policy.
I can't tell if that's a scared 8 or not.
No, it's just I did not realize it. I thought about the whole death thing.
Does it do anything?
Look, unfortunately, the
I
group.
succeed.
Oh,
I rolled a
love
nat
Does the book
17.
do anything to neutral creatures?
Specifically,
Aside from turning it.
as long as you're not evil, I believe that there's only. Ooh, there might be an effect. Any creature of a good alignment that is willingly touches the tome must succeed the DC 24 save and be immediately.
Chris didn't willingly touch it.
Just give me the.
No,
Oh.
wait, willingly, you're right.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Ray! Oh my god! I'm gonna say that the priest doesn't die.
You should have done it in Mensa.
But when you get teleported. He's not willing.
I'm gonna say
Tell me what happened.
that. Did you touch?
I haven't touched it yet.
Cool. So you hear, ah! It stops for a second. Ray's gone. The priest reels back and he's not got a hand. Ah! Because Ray grabbed his hand and pushed it into the book.
I grabbed the priest's hand and just squish it from the middle of comes out. Hold still.
Oh my god! It's
Keep yourself together. The blood's just.
I collapsed it. Heal yourself.
Mitso just immediately casts calm emotions. Oh, 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 oh.
Shadow, go back.
That's a lot of groans for you to have. Oh. And then you hear, oh, there's still so much pain. I just don't feel the need to scream.
Do you feel the need to heal yourself?
Oh, I can do that.
quickly just challenge you.
You see him just like smack the nub of his hand. Ah!
I feel again. Oh
A
no!
little bit of light, a little bit of energy. You see this the hand kind of peel over.
His hand.
His hand does not grow back.
No, just yes. I'll do it again.
Okay.
Just leave me out of it. Mitsu's like, no, you're going in. I need you to go in.
Here, how about priest get on my back and you come in with me.
It didn't teleport the creature that was on my back.
That's true. But that never happened, so he doesn't know that.
Yeah,
No, it did. We said we did have it.
he was still on my back.
He was still on his back. We kind of that little war's iffy. That's our mom who have come to the threads of kind of like.
No, let's say gals and undead. Maybe undead creatures can't go in them.
Mitsu casts full strength on
These are
Priest, so that he has some improved fortitude. I think it's a +2 to fortitude. So
He doesn't have like death or
So
something.
that means he has now plus 15, and he can give himself guidance.
Full strength is strength.
Oh,
Yeah, it's bad endurance.
Yeah, it's alright. He would have changed that in the long rest. He's got it.
Wait.
This is Mitsu. He's got more than enough spell.
Okay, maybe it won't work you on me.
Just try it. I'll fall off your back either way.
Cool. Quick question: Is this death a thing supernatural or spell-like effect? Either way, I'm gonna rage and then touch
I
it.
would say it's a spell-like effect. I'll give that to you. Yeah.
Wouldn't it just be supernatural?
Can it be both?
It should just be supernatural.
Either one. Okay.
Like, is this the effect of someone casting a spell on this book at some point to kill anyone who touches it, or it just is so evil that if you're good, it kills you?
It doesn't matter.
I would say it's more like a dark angel, probably with a.
It's not extraordinary.
But it's like a version on the book.
But it is spell-like and then.
Okay. It doesn't matter if it doesn't apply to my spell resistance. I just know that I'll +4 as
I mean, it's a caster level 25 book.
Oh wow.
Nice.
That's
The combo.
cool. I rage and I go.
Okay, do you have the blood mace with you?
No.
You just have Marcus.
I have the Marcus spear.
You have the Marcus spear. You have the stone knuckles.
Okay. Since the thing doesn't get teleported, is Marcus free now? Because he doesn't take
He is an object.
Marcus is not an object because he's status.
No, you're right. You're right.
So this kid he's coming in. He's coming in with us.
You're right.
Marcus is not alive anymore.
Either Marcus is free, or the spear doesn't go with.
That is also meta. Can Marcus live as a torso?
You're right. It's either.
Whoa, dude, he's a blood beast.
I'm pretty sure the spear Marcus will
Yeah, they're
blood.
not. He's not.
Like when he turns back, like unparalleled,
That's like petrified, yeah.
then he can die.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's like a
I
stasis.
go in without the spear, or I go in with the spear.
Yes.
And both of them have problems.
So we're considering that Marcus is still a living creature.
Yeah, but I think the spear is part of him.
Yeah,
So I
I say
either go
that's
in
fucking
without the spear
flesh
Marcus
aside.
or with the spear Marcus.
That's because you ignored the hardness of
Petrification, which is like 15 damage, he would have taken less.
There's no rules for the petrification.
There is a hardness.
It's just stone. It's the hardness of stone.
Yeah, which 15
Okay.
is really strong.
I have a plus 15
You know
against
what?
this. I have a plus 19.
You know what? I love this. I love this.
I love this too.
I'm happy.
Oh, wait, no.
I figured it out.
Also, the spear is for a giant. Would he be able to use it as a lance?
Oh, if he magically attuned it, yeah. I mean, I would say definitely lance. But I think it would also swell back to an effective size.
I was wrong. I don't have plus 19. I have
But
plus
like, yeah, we can
22.
say that even.
So I just can't fail. Almost get that one.
I mean, it's a really good weapon if you take that weapon.
I want the weapon. Currently, it's just a normal petrified spear with no magic. That's what David said.
Yeah, it looks like a stone spear. Yeah, for sure. You get
I'll roll.
for your death back.
Oh! I roll a 3. That's 22.
That one is your only fail,
So
right?
25. Yep.
So you don't feel the priest on your back jump with you.
Damn.
No, I would have even said he would have done guidance on you. So you got a +1. So it would have been
26.
you're good.
I like how you just left it out.
Half the body.
I just wanted to. I will cut before we bring the priest in. The priest doesn't know you.
Well, we can't see it.
How are 4/5 of the party good aligned? Doesn't make any sense.
Hey, I'm assuming when I have my manic episodes, I know I'm a good line for that. You never have a good line now.
I think
You're
should
going
be chaotic.
Like, and maybe
Good says so I am. So.
That's the first one I rolled all day.
No, we're flapping.
I don't even know what we're talking about now.
Did you agree that
Ain't no way
he's like
fucking good.
chaotic?
Who did he agree?
Oh yeah, no. This is one of those things. I'm still gonna say he's good for now. You see my forebrow like. I just mean that in that he's not actually done a bad deed as himself. You know.
We're all good.
Good.
Except for small
Good.
soldiers.
Clearly good.
Saying psychopath.
I'm the goodest of
Necromancer.
He's good. He's good. He's good.
It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Ray actually being
You can't
good.
say we're dumb
I think
bad.
you're evil. I just think
Ray, you feel your face. Your face is submerged in something, but it's like mud.
Oh, damn.
Like it's hot. It's almost hot. It's pretty warm. I would still say comfortable, but not. It's a few degrees below being an uncomfortable amount of heat. And you feel, Ray, as you put your hands down, like a thick mud surrounds your hand for about 2 feet before you feel yourself able to kind of rise out, and you realize you are like, as for Ray's height, you're about thigh deep in some sort of thick substance. Your head emerges. You realize there's like big clumps of like a black or brown liquid just dripping from your face. You hear beside you, and you see Murky's horse body just sideways.
Oh yeah, I have spider legs.
Why?
You see a spear made of pure blood. Tails.
Oh, God.
And then you hear
I love it. I try and catch him.
Your body is face down in mud. You get up, and then your body is hit from behind as the priest lands on you.
I don't budge. It's too strong.
You're slowly pulling yourself out of muck. There we go. We're in the dark.
We've returned to the desert.
So scary.
You see what looks like.
I've been here for months.
You look like visibly.
100-foot
You see
corpses.
tall brick, like a castle wall. Lines are kind of horizon ahead of you, and you can see some breaks in it where it's clear a lot of this, like a pie has kind of been taken out of a chunk of the wall. You notice a deep, dark red sky. That's like it's just a red glow that fades out, and as you look up, it's like there's like an aurora of red, like this shimmering ribbon, like glowing material that's kind of just like gliding through the sky. You see it's trailing from somewhere, but that trail looks black, and so somehow it's emerging from a black trail flowing above you through the sky, creating what is, through a black sky, a kind of red hue over you. And you're noticing to your right, ahead of you there's a brick wall with ruins at some point, but it's much like the wall that you were passing through in areas of the city. Very human design. You ruined human design buildings before you and before that wall in the city. To your right, there looks to be some sort of drop-off, a fissure. And if you look to your right far enough, you see a clump of land. To you, it would probably be, and especially for Ray, who has a great idea of the size of an island, you see an island mass floating about 100 feet up. This broken rocky wall connected to nothing, as it just floats at the very edge, precipice of your platform that you're on. And then you look at the distance beyond that, and you see another floating island. You look at the distance past the brick walls, and you don't see an island. You see another landmass, but you can see there's a separation. Maybe it's an island size. It's kind of too hard to tell with the wall to your left. 3 broken islands. Varying heights, mostly about 190 feet above the surface of where you are. And you notice that landmasses around you are all very kind of like even, but rocky, jagged, almost like roots of black glass have emerged from the stone ground and are just floating, these single platforms, some of them only being 20 foot wide, floating off the ground. The area around you is an array of weird, zero gravity, or still gravity, broken city, broken islands, a fractured array of land around you. No sign of Oscar. Loki rights himself, Ray, you notice that there's no stone nugget body attached to the top of his spear. The spear is no longer stone. It looks like it is made purely of a red crimson color, reflecting off the aurora of red glow above you.
The nugget was not really.
Apparently, it's not the
What do you want to bet that Marcus corpse explodes? Resurrect it that way.
It's definitely where the book is.
Shit.
Yes, I admit I was going to enjoy
Destroy the book if you
still in
fucking
nugget course.
Okay. This is worrying, but we have bigger problems.
Is it worrying?
It's worrying that you have something that can turn people into stone.
priest is like, I don't know, I've never seen an object like this before. It's made of purely of
I do think we are focusing on the wrong thing.
I'm gonna add my rage.
That's really interesting.
Okay,
Thank you, by the way. Holds up the. I don't know if you ever found the hand.
By holding it?
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's covered in like a brown ink. Holds out his other hand.
The black.
That's my intention.
Just reattach it. Easy. You can't do that. That feels easy. But you can. There's a cleric.
I feel like this is supposed to. What?
Just cast Channel Divinity with his hand in the right place.
Turn into that guy from My Hero Academia with the hand.
Oh.
He's like a Shigella. That guy.
Shimaraki.
He just has to put the hand in his face.
It's begun. I'm back.
That's a pretty good villain.
For a skull of sufferer guy in your slave once. Loses 6 levels.
Gains 24 levels.
And as you guys are writing yourself, there's something that is so much more horrifying as all of these structures that are floating in the distance, not the small ones, just the big ones, are all kind of rotating. Very, very slowly, almost invisibly. But as you spend over 2 or 3 minutes, you watch as they rotate, maybe about 90 degrees. And you slowly start to see on most of the giant islands, one large eyeball just kind of rotate. Where the black iris in the center would be, it's just a red color. And you look at these eyes, which seem to all, in every direction, seem to kind of be turning and rotating to you from different rotating points. And then they all kind of stop rotating. As you notice, 15, 16, wide open red eyes. It could be hunger, or hatred, or glee. Wide eyes staring at you, and you can't help but feel the gaze of a feeling to you that you could only describe as real evil. As landmasses look at you, and the floating land of the damned which you are now inside of. You are, all 3 of you alone. There is no sun, there is no moon. And we will see where these guys go next.
We split the party. Yeah.
Again,